Oh, hello, people. People of Earth. Well, I can't say this because
Wait, we're on Earth? Shit.
this is only an R-rated show, so I can't say this. But anyway, some promos for you people on Earth. And what the hell's going on now? We're having trouble. Well, all right, look, Facebook. Oh my God, people. We're trying to start a show and Facebook is having cardiac arrest. We're gonna have to get with StreamYard and Facebook because this is just getting just ridiculous. But anyway, guys and girls, while Facebook is doing its thing, we're gonna put some music up for y'all. Well, it's not actually music; it's promos. But take a listen. See what your favorite shows are, and what's that, Christopher? And let's hope everything goes the way it's supposed to. Okay. Wow. Well, I don't know. Everything keeps getting in our way to get started.
I keep getting an error thing.
All right, let's try this.
Facebook.
Facebook has become, a POS. But anyway, guys and girls, we're going to do this one more time. I hope everybody's ready for the night show because it's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. But anyway, let's get some promos out the way and then we can get started.
The Church of Mavis Radio Show, Friday nights at 8 p.m., 7 Central, starring Jeffrey Pritchett with his co-hosts Wham and Jay McNicholas, right here on the United Paranormal Radio Network, UPRN 107.7 FM, New Orleans.
Y'all are bad people in the world. That's all I got to tell y'all.
Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to News on the Flipside. It's kind of been a weird start tonight, yes. Flaming things and weird Facebook.
I know why, brother.
No.
Are you referring to Beirut on fire or what?
We are having a double moon coming up on the 29th of this month.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. Yeah, I forgot about
There's
that.
Two moons.
What do you mean? Well, don't we only have one moon?
No, we got two on September 29th. I do not understand it, but
oh yeah, we picked up that little. We picked up a moon. What is it? Asteroid's going to be with us for 2 months. Yeah, it's going to be
a flyby though. It's not going to stay. It's going to.
No, it's only here for 2 months. It's still 2 months. It's hanging out.
The moon has all that freaking energy, right? Can you imagine all the energy with the second moon, even though it's a small one? Can you imagine that? Oh, God bless the hospitals. I can tell you that, dude.
What if it collides? We'll get to see a pretty spectacular fireworks show for free.
Hello, Michelle. Well, they got the comet coming by September 27th through September 30th. You catch it about an hour before dawn if you're in the United States. So go check it out. It'll be pretty cool.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, Doomsday is just around the corner then with all those, signs in the sky.
Signs and pretenses, man. And then of course we have Emperor Putin out there causing trouble, and Emperor Xi causing trouble, and Emperor Kim causing more trouble. Of course, then there's the Ayatollah Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, you know. And,
Well, but
Ah.
we've also been waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it really kind of has, except that it wasn't Iran that dropped the shoe; it was Israel. I don't know if you heard, but
I gotta agree. I was listening to Sky News earlier tonight, and they were talking about the restraint that Iran has had with Israel, because Israel's been blowing shit up all over the place. And
I don't know if the latest. The outskirts of Beirut are on fire, and they're claiming.
Oh yeah, they blew the crap out of Beirut, but Beirut's in Iraq.
The Hezbollah leader. That's what they're claiming right now. IDF.
Yeah, that's what they claim, that they killed the leader. Which Ayatollah, over there in Iran's gonna have to do something. But the Iraqis didn't really care. They're probably happy they killed the son of a bitch. Jimmy, we had control of Iraq for like 30 years.
The U.S. was it the U.S. and the Iraqis made an agreement to like stop fighting the ISIS in Iraq?
They
something to that effect.
They made, it wasn't ISIS, it was the other one.
ISIL was ISIS.
No, it was the one that ISIS they still want to wipe out off the face of the planet. It was the other one. The one
I think what they were saying is they wiped it out of Iraq is what they were trying to.
Yeah. But the one that's in Afghanistan, the one we cut the deal with, when Trump was going to cut the deal with.
Taliban.
The Taliban, yeah, that's the one they decided they're going to leave alone. And because they're actually giving us stuff and telling us stuff. I guess we gave them all that free equipment. They figure they owe us something in return.
Free equipment, yeah. That's an understatement.
It's what's it? No, Jimmy, we left.
I wouldn't use the royal we. I'd say, Joe Biden, we.
Well, we'll say Kamala Harris, because she was the last person in the room. She always says she is. Jackie, anybody who's trying to find us and having issues up with Facebook, you can go over to Rumble and listen to us on Rumble. It's got a good stream over there. You catch us on Roku. Y'all can also get us on YouTube over there as well. There is one Facebook page running. That's one of my personal pages. It's up and running. So y'all can catch us one where I get the long hair. Y'all can catch it over there and listen to it there. I'm not sure what's going on with the other Facebooks. They just seem to be having issues.
Yeah, it keeps throwing errors up on the screen.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna take them off the page and then we'll see what happens. But it bites, because we have a lot of other places we can go out to if we know these pages aren't going to work correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they give us 8 venues plus any venues that we want to bring in ourselves. Yeah, any of the guests can bring in, I think it's 2 venues themselves. But I mean, anyway, a lot of shit going on in the world. Leah kicked some cop in the balls yesterday. Almost went to jail. I mean, I was like, Leah, you can't just go around kicking cops in the balls. And she's like, well, he had it coming. And I was like, okay,
I would do it again.
Yes. so I mean, shit happens on this planet. Oh no, I haven't seen them in a while. You mean the Young Turks? I have not seen them in a while.
I haven't either. I have not either.
They are crazy liberal freaks, but I don't know what happened to them. I think they got canceled. Well, I got into it with Fat Boy a couple of times, and because arguing with me is like arguing with a fucking wall, man. I mean, come on. You better come not just loaded for bear. You better become for elephants, because I'm not playing. I don't come to a fight unprepared. You can forget that shit. As a lesbian coalition in California found out, I don't come. If I'm coming to fight, I'm coming to fight, and I'm coming prepared. And I got a lot of people willing to help me look for stuff. So I'll just tell everybody in this damn network, hey, I got to go do this. I got a lecture coming up about this. Can y'all help me? And look, I'll get shit from everywhere. Amelia and my friend M is like fact finding freaks, man. I mean, literally, I probably get 10 links a day from both of them. So it's great. You can keep up on my stuff. Oh, we got some Kamala stuff. We got some Kamala stuff.
Oh,
we got some Kamala stuff.
Oh my God, dude! I can't. Please don't, dude.
So first off,
I tried to listen to her so-called thing with Oprah the other night, and I couldn't. 7 minutes. I couldn't take 7 minutes of it without getting sick to my stomach. And I'm saying, she's going to run our country. Come on.
It's so funny though.
Longer, but I couldn't watch because I had to go to sleep so I could wake up in time for work. But yeah,
ever since they put Kamala on Oprah, they've been showing all the Oprah shows with Trump on it, and how she said he would make a great president, and she loves him to death, and he was the greatest thing on the planet. She used to suck up hard to Trump, man. You can't get away from that shit. You done said it, baby. It's too late now. You still feel like that.
I think they're both equally as frightening. Like
Well,
they're
I
two
can't argue
sides
with
of the
that.
same coin.
Well, no, they're not two sides of the same coin because
No,
Xi Jinping
one's an idiot and the other isn't.
well, Putin, Ping, Kim, and the Ayatollah are scared of Trump. They're actually
There's
pulling for
that.
Kamala to win. So because they can go on and do whatever they want because they know she's not. Because Biden's not doing anything. I mean, we've never had a president where U.S. Citizens were taken as hostages that we didn't go get them.
Yeah.
I'm freaking lost, man. And what's getting me even worse is the press is not saying anything. They're like, oh, well, I just, we watched that one young guy die just being drugged around in the streets. And he's a U.S. citizen, and we just let it happen. We should have been, we should have already wiped Hezbollah out of existence. We should have just already done it. I mean, I don't know what the hell. We got a coward in the White House. I don't even think he knows what's going on. I did hear him the other day. He was asked,
is he even alive?
Yeah. Oh no. So he's pissed. So he's been carrying around a red mega hat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been carrying it around.
He threw Kamala under the bus the other night too. The other day on The View.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Biden?
Yeah.
Biden's wearing a MAGA hat.
Yeah. He's pissed. So they asked him. He said
at a rally, and I guess he kept it.
You don't never see what it says on it. It's just a red hat. And it looks like it says mega, but no. But he was up there with them kids that day, them 12 kids. They were all wearing mega hats, and he was wearing one. He was standing there with them, so he's kind of putting it out there that look, you know what? Yeah. So they asked him about him stepping down. He said, "I didn't step down." He said they just took over. That's his exact words. That's the Democrats. Y'all should be ashamed. That's a coup. That's such the coup's illegal in this country.
We've talked about it. They even their party members have said that if they have to try to win majority of the House so that they can change the laws retrospectively, that they could put her in as the nominee without going through a primary, which is part of their party rule. And so they've violated their own party rules in furtherance of pushing someone into the role, regardless whether anybody wants her there or not.
Joe Manchin said he's not going to endorse her or back her because of the filibuster thing. And he actually was running for president this year. So he would have probably ran again. He'd probably tried to go for it along with a couple. He just didn't get the chance.
Yeah.
And then Nancy came out. She's trying to backtrack now, but she came out and basically said, well, Kamala just took advantage of an opportunity. But she said at least on 4 occasions that she thought there was going to be some kind of mini primary. Democrats, you just letting somebody kind of run the country that's not even elected to the position to run the country. It's scary that y'all are okay with that.
Well, let me ask you.
It's terrifying.
Let me ask you all a question. And this might be far-fetched, but do you think like Xi, Putin, Kim Jong, whatever the hell his name is, didn't really do anything because at least a little bit of respect for Biden because he's been in for a long time? Or are they afraid that if Trump gets in, all hell's going to break loose?
Okay, well, this is an easy one for you. So Putin invaded a foreign country for every president while he was in. He's been in, 18 years now? Except for Trump. He was going to invade the Ukraine under Obama, but he couldn't get it done at the time. So he planned on doing it with the next president. Trump got in. He didn't do it. Trump got out. He did it.
Okay.
Yeah. And before Trump gets back in, gee, I wonder why.
Yeah. And so now he's already talking. Matter of fact, Trump was with Zelensky today, walking around talking.
Yeah, the videos.
So, Zelensky's ready for peace now. And but he don't want to give up any parts of his country, which I understand. And there is a way to mediate that, with money and stuff like that. And what they ought to do with Crimea and make everybody happy is, okay, say, look, Russia, give it back to us, but we'll do like the Brits and the Chinese did. And we'll rent it to you for the next 100 or 200 years, and you can rent it just like, Hong Kong went to the Brits had Hong Kong for 100 years, 200 years. So they can do the same thing. And then everybody's appeased. And then Russia don't have to maintain the infrastructure, just their base. Right now, Russia's got to maintain everything. Island, bridges, all the infrastructure, everything. Yep. Which of course has been bombed into the Netherlands now. So I mean, it would be a good thing there. Ping will back off if Trump gets in. because Trump has already showed he's not scared of him, or at least 4 occasions when he was president, he proved to Xi Jinping, I am not scared of you, and I will fuck you up, buddy. He showed him on several occasions a severe. I mean, he was the second president to raise nuclear submarines loaded with nuclear missiles up around China in 3 locations at the same time. And China had no idea they were there until our submarines contacted them saying we want exercises. We could have wiped out the whole mainland of China in less than 15 minutes. And they would have even known. They would have died with never knowing what happened to them. That's how fast it would have been. And then he proved to him that night he was having dinner when he bombed Libya, when he raised that nuclear submarine up and launched all 97 cruise missiles. He said, launch everything we got. And he did. They launched every cruise missile on it and wiped out all kind of shit while he was having dinner with Xi Jinping. He wanted him to know, I will kill anybody anytime I feel like it. Don't with me.
Yeah.
And you see what he happened with Kim. So Kim's all, yeah, I'm launching missiles. I was badass. And he said, there's no place you can hide that I can't get you. We didn't see him for 3 years, man. He disappeared for 3 fucking years. He disappeared.
Yeah.
So you see who they have respect for.
His sister was like, pro tem, governor of whatever for.
Yeah, she was running the place, and then the Ayatollah is like, the Democrats give the Ayatollah money by the pallet loads, and Republicans take it away and put sanctions on him. So of course they don't want Trump in there.
I might sound really ignorant, but what is the Ayatollah?
He is the spiritual leader of Iran.
Yeah.
Technically, the president runs Iran, but that's not really true. The Ayatollah, the president, he's not a figurehead. He does have power, but the Ayatollah is the true leader of Iran. He is the spiritual leader of Iran. And if he says go blow a bunch of Americans up, that's what they're going to go do.
Yeah.
But he has shown restraint against, but everybody forgets. He is pissed still because remember, Trump killed his number 1 guy. Remember his general? He had forever like 30. He just killed his ass, and they're still pissed about that. This guy was like worshipped, man. He was a god over there.
And so are our Democrats too.
But we've had lots of presidents who killed,
Not like this guy. This guy's way. This was like when we killed Bin Laden.
One of the Bushes that killed Gaddafi's
son,
a newborn son in a hospital or something like that. Is that not true? That's true. That happened in the 80s or 90s, something around there.
Wait, what? I only caught half of that for some reason. I didn't catch the
I'm sorry. One of the Bushes, they dropped a bomb. I think it was on one of Gaddafi's houses, and they killed one of his newborn sons.
Oh yeah, no. So Daddy Bush just perfectly tells you how stupid America is. So we're kicking ass over there. So Bush orders the bombing of the palace and kills, I think, a baby and 2 of his sons and 1 of his daughters. So it was like 4 kids killed. America flipped out. Okay, they just flipped out. So,
but guess what? He calmed down quite a bit.
He did calm down quite a bit, but America flipped out because we could have ended that problem right then and there and been done with this and wouldn't have had to go back with baby Bush. But the country flipped out because those kids got killed, and that was it. I mean, the sons, I think, were in their late teens or something, but the country just flipped.
Let me ask you this question, guys: was it Papa Bush or was it Dick Cheney who called that?
Oh yeah, good call. Yeah.
Well, no. Dick Cheney would have been with baby Bush. Papa Bush. Who was Papa Bush's VP?
Wasn't it Cheney?
No, because he was baby Bush's VP.
Rhodes Scholar. Potatoes.
Oh, was it Quayle? Was that who it was?
Yeah.
No, was it?
Yeah, it had to be Dan Quayle.
Anyway, see, that's how sad it was. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, well,
Daddy Bush.
He was one of the worst vice presidents.
Well, Daddy Bush was the shit. I mean, Daddy Bush was the head of the CIA. Then he was vice president for 8 years. And then he was president for 4 years. This guy had the 3 most powerful offices there ever could be.
Yeah.
No telling what he took to the grave with him. But it tells you something, though. He did not have the respect Ronald Reagan did, because Ollie North threw herself in a sword for President Reagan, because Reagan was in deep shit with us trading them guns to the Contras down there. And Ollie said, no, I did all of that. Nobody knew about it. We were using guns and drugs to arm the rebels. And so he threw it, because they were going to put it on Reagan because he was commander in chief, but this colonel just threw herself on a sword for the guy. And everybody knew it was Ronald Reagan, but there was nothing they could do after Ollie North said, no, it was me. And that was it. That was all they could. It was over with. He threw himself on a sword. He went to prison. And I'm sure they took
Probably
good
still
care.
is.
And I don't think he's in prison. I don't think he went for that long. But politicians, they don't really go for prison for real long. And they don't even go to
He
regular
wasn't a politician at the time, was he? He was a
no, he was a colonel. Yeah, he was a colonel.
He was military. He was not a civilian in any respect.
Yeah, see, but Reagan might have pardoned him.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, or one of the
Bushes. Yeah, one of the Bushes might have pardoned him. Somebody pardoned him and made sure he was well taken care of. You can bet your ass on that.
Here's a nice little island nowhere in Bahamas, Bermuda. Don't ever come back, kind of thing.
So we call Darth Cheney for a couple reasons. One, he had his heart replaced. Yes. He also had
a pig's heart.
With a pig's heart. He also had another body. He's still alive, by the way, people. He had another body part replaced. Then he blew some guy's face off
with a shotgun.
Yes. And then he had this thing he used to do with this weird voice. So he was evil. He still is evil, but I mean, he was evil. Let me tell you what, George Bush probably would have been that's why George Bush, baby Bush, had an 84% approval rating, because he had Condoleezza Rice on the left and Darth Cheney on the right. You were not getting with this guy no matter what. And the best part is Condi had carte blanche. So wherever she went, whether it was talking to Putin or Xi Jinping or anybody, when she said something, baby Bush made sure it fucking happened. If she said, we're going to drop missiles on your head in an hour, I'll see you when we come back. Boom, there's going to be missiles raining on your head in an hour. You did not piss this woman off, because that's how much they trusted her. And that's why they still wanted to be president. Most people think she would be one of the best presidents the country's ever had.
Wow.
Plus
3 years probation, community service. That's for selling arms to what were they? The country.
Oh, that's what he got. That's what he got.
Thank you, Michelle, for Googling that, buddy. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate that.
Oh, wow.
See, that's what happens when you throw yourself in a sword for the president.
Well, I mean, I'm probably the same. But if we all Google it, the same was probably for all the guys from Watergate. They probably only served 1 or 2 or 3 years, and then they're living the high life.
I still never understood why Nixon did resign for Watergate, because they had him, but they didn't have him because they didn't have enough votes in the House and the Senate to impeach him. They could get the impeachment on him, but they were never going to get him out of office because they didn't have the votes to do it. So I guess he just felt guilty and stepped down. God only knows what was on them tapes. Yeah, them stupid Democrats. Yeah, you see this? We're going to steal all this shit. And they're not going to know. And some idiot leaves a piece of tape on the door. I mean, people, if you're going to go down, there's better things than a piece of tape on the door. Yeah, they taped a little striker so it wouldn't come out. Yeah, so they could go in and out the side door. Yeah, just dumbasses. That's what got them busted. A little piece of tape. Piece of tape got them busted.
If you believe Hollywood, it was Forrest Gump who discovered the burglary in progress and called it into the local DC police.
What's that, Carolyn? No. Oh, actually, we got a lot of links. We got a lot of stuff to cuss. There's been a lot of change in polls. Right now, Trump leads. When you talk about the economy, he's up like 21% over Kamala. When you talk about the border, he's up like 17%. Yeah. Kamala was at the border today. She sounded drunk. She was slurring.
Yes, she did. Oh,
she was slurring. Wow. She was like, my name is Kamala Harris. I'm like,
do you think that could just be the way that she talks? Because
because I hear her talk. No, she didn't talk like that at the debate.
No, I'm not saying like naturally, like she's. Do you think that that's the way that she makes herself sound on purpose?
Because she changes her accents and talks different ways to different people. It's just according to her number one aide that quit like 6 months into her. She lost a lot of people in her first year as a VP.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
She said she drank like a fish.
I think it's an alcoholic problem.
Yeah, no, she said the aide said, and that she was her number one aide. Said she's got a drinking problem. She drinks like a fish. She said a couple times she came in and found her sleeping on her desk.
That's not sleeping. That's called passing out.
That is called passing out, but still. No, look, all you get there is tons of videos where she's slurring. There's tons of videos where she's not. But you can tell. So, and what we started looking for is when she's somewhere. So like when she's doing out of the White House and somewhere like that, she doesn't really slur. But when she's been traveling, like she's flying into LA and she gets off the
Especially on
plane
the
and
Air Force
she's
plane.
got to go. She's got to go right to the thing. Yeah, she's been drinking.
Yeah,
Well, it's nothing
sad.
against the law about drinking, but I mean,
No.
look, but I
No.
mean, the thing of it is, you're vice president. You shouldn't be speaking to the public buzzed.
No, because there's a lot of word salads that
Yeah,
happen.
and that's another reason you can tell she's buzzed because she's like
You know what? Did you actually see Oprah's eyes when she was talking?
Yeah, I did a couple times over, and that's
They
what.
were
So, and
glazed
you
over.
see, that shows you how sad the media is. Because Whoopi was saying that was the greatest interview she ever saw. I'm like, Whoopi, you need to go buy some glasses, baby. I actually typed that into their Facebook page. She's like, what? I was like, yeah, whoever answers this, you need to tell Whoopi she need to get some new glasses. I said that was horrible because over a couple times. One time she just kind of turned her head and pushed back, like, "What the did you just say?"
Yes, exactly, exactly.
And I mean,
Yeah,
and she said some scary stuff about changing the law so they want to put everybody's guns and everything on a chart so they can come do gun inspections in your house. Do you know how many cops are going to get shot over that? Because people are going to lose their minds.
Yeah, no way.
People are not going to go for that. I mean, that's not part of the Second Amendment. They're just not going to go for that.
and then she was
like
on
owning a gun.
She was on MSNBC, and that person who was giving her questions, right? Oh my God, she didn't know what to say. She was lost. Her eyes looked like she was in a.
Because and that's another reason they're saying she had an earpiece in her ear. The thing, what were you saying, Leah? Because that's what a lot of people saying, that she's got an earpiece because when she don't have it, she sounds like an idiot. What you were saying?
Saying that owning a gun would give officials the right to enter your home to do like searches without a warrant, like just like come into your house and start inspecting.
It's a ploy that was used in World War II Germany, or just pre-World War II Germany, and a way to find out who had guns and how to get them away from them. And it would be called a gun safety inspection.
Yes. And then she said she was going to do mandatory buybacks, that anybody who owned a handgun had to buy. My ass. Martha, I'm not selling Martha. That is my other girlfriend. She is staying with me anywhere I go. And if people don't like it, they can find out why she's a bitch. It's don't mess with me, people. I'm from the South. We don't play that shit down here. That would start a revolution in this country. People are not going to let federal agents into their house because they own a gun. It's just not going to happen. No, I mean, why would I do that? I'm not breaking any laws. The law allows me to own a gun. Should just be grateful. Like when I was young, I had like 20 of them bitches. I had rifles and pistols and shotguns and semi-automatics, all kind of wonderful stuff. Now I just have a couple of guns, mainly handguns. I do have one rifle that can kill you at a half a mile. Yes, well, it's good to stay. You never know when the Russians are going to invade.
I'm pretty good with the rifle.
See,
know what? They're talking about Russia invading Alaska now.
I know the Alaskans were laughing their asses off too. They were like, who's going to invade us? This damn state is so big. I mean, by the time you get to someone, you done lost half your people of frostbite.
And I don't know if anyone's taken a look lately, but
besides McMurdo's up there,
yeah, it's mostly ice.
And Alaska's got mountains all over the place and stuff, and resources, but McMurdo's up there, and
it's rough terrain and it's rough weather.
I'm pretty sure there's 3 Air Force bases up there.
Yeah, at least.
I know the other day they escorted some Russian jets away from Alaska. The other day they were like, you best move on with yourself. It was so funny.
Probably a couple of clandestine sub pens up there too to keep an eye on the
I wouldn't doubt that. Russia. It was funny the other day. This retired. He just retired from the Russian military. He's living in the UK now. He was talking about they were cruising one day along the Alaska line, because they were always told to push as far as they can to see, how long it took to respond. And he said they're cruising along one day, and he said, I'm talking to my friend, and I'm like, well, I guess Americans just don't give a shit that we're up here. And then I realized as I looked over at my friend and looked down, there was 2 Raptors just sitting underneath us, just flying along with us. My friend gets on the thing, he goes, well, we're dead, aren't we? He's like shaking his head. And one of the guys in the F-22 spoke Russian, so He said, comrade, you should leave now because you are dead. So it's time to. But they did that to them guys in them F4 Phantoms and Arabs.
Yes, they did. Yes.
They just flew up right underneath. Woo, how you doing? Well, you want to die? You leave.
Well, that's what happens when you have an adaptive cloaking device on the skin of your plane. It makes you look invisible to the naked eye.
Badass piece. Oh no, Kim, these are true stories. Yes, it's just like we were telling you about the Ronald Reagan also did that when Ping wasn't president. I mean, in charge at the time, but Ronald Reagan also did that. Had 3 nuclear subs rise up around China just to prove a point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Russia understands that too. Well, no, they both. China, I don't think China has a ballistic missile submarine. Maybe they're working on one. I mean, I heard they were working on one, but according to China, they have no missiles deployed.
That doesn't mean you don't have your missile subs deployed.
Yeah, but it don't matter if there's no missiles in them. This is a waste of time.
It's like carrying a gun without bullets. What use is it? Well, it's a pretty good iron weight.
Well, they're saving all. You know what? They're saving their missiles just in case someone attacks them.
Yeah, just in case Japan invades again.
Yeah,
Stephanie. Oh, well, I'll tell you what. Okay, I'll make a prediction. If the laughing jackass wins, I'll make a prediction that 1, Russia uses a tactical nuke on Kiev. China invades Taiwan. Kim Jong-un starts a war with South Korea, and Iran and Iraq Iran and Israel get into it.
Well, I think
along with the terrorists
are already into it, but it's just not declared yet.
Yeah, so that I guarantee you that will be on the verge of World War III. Then Trump gets in, none of that shit's going to happen.
He probably stopped the war with him not even being a president. I mean, if he's talking to Zelensky, I guarantee it, he's still talking to Putin.
Oh yeah, he met with Putin not that long ago, and Ping said he was more than willing to meet with him. They know doing business with Trump is better, but Trump's going to want, because Trump wants hard deals. They think with Kamala they can just do whatever they want, but China is in so much trouble right now. You know what? We got a couple links. Let's see if we can find them right quick. What is this one? Oh wait, we got to talk about this. So y'all gonna love this. China humiliated after accidentally sinking its own nuclear submarine.
Brilliant.
They got caught trying to cover up an embarrassing blunder after the newest nuclear-powered submarine sank in the harbor while under construction.
Wow.
Yeah, it says they currently don't have any.
I remember that story. They forgot to secure the screen door, didn't they?
I don't know what they did here. Yeah. But it looks bad, man. They just Jesus. China, we love you. You know, it's this shit just happens sometimes. We've seen it happen to other places. Let's see. We got some more for China. Where's it at? We'll talk about that one in a minute. Where's this one at?
Maybe they weren't ready for the D stage. They need to go back to the R stage.
They show China launching gravity rocket launch satellites from sea platforms, which looks pretty cool. Looks like it almost tipped a damn ship over there. So, but that's cool to see. I mean, they're trying to make progress. China. So what is this one? China industrial profits drop sharply. Economy in disaster mode and that disaster recovery mode. Company decreased profits so far this year 18%. Jesus. Earning growth grew from only to $4 trillion. They're supposed to make at least $11 trillion. Their original forecast before Trump took president, by this time they were supposed to be at least where we are at $35 trillion. And they're not. They're in deep shit is what they're in.
That's because they don't have anyone buying their stuff.
That's the whole point. Between COVID and Trump and them saying, look, why are we giving our enemies money? What the hell is wrong with you people?
I mean, I've been saying it for years, even in the 80s. I mean, where they were giving money to people who hated us. And it's like, why are you doing that? You're stoking the fires that are eventually going to bite us in the ass. And they have several times.
Jackie, you know what? I might post that in a minute. Hold on. I'm looking for something. Is this it right here? Yeah. China tariffs. U.S. deals trade blow to world number 2 economy. We just hit them. All those tariffs that Trump had put in Biden did have now just taken effect. They're in deep shit. 300 billion worth of Trump tariffs and 200 billion worth of Biden tariffs. Holy crap. Well, you know that little plastic car y'all get for 8 cents? Now it's going to be about $3.
Yeah.
And then it says China made solar cells, medical supplies such as masks, blah, blah, blah. Nobody wants your mask. It said, did you realize those China made masks say if you wear it too long can cause cancer?
Really?
Yeah.
Wearing what?
You know, those surgical masks, the ones made in China, there's a little tag in the right bottom corner. It says if you prolonged exposure can cause cancer.
Yeah, I haven't worn a mask since it wasn't mandatory anymore.
I didn't wear it when it was fucking mandatory.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's a 50% tariff. Everything from certain supplies like gloves, any medical supplies, superconductor cells, and stuff like that.
At a rally this afternoon too, and he said that he put on a 50 and a 100% tariff on.
Okay, so it's 50% on superconductor cells, solar cells, and medical supplies. It's a 25% tariff on lithium-ion batteries. It was only a 7%. Now it's 25%. And then these also go on to say if certain things aren't done by China, these tariffs will also go up again. Mm-hmm. So right here, it shows you on duties on Chinese electrical vehicles. China now dominates, but has a negligible market in the United States. The tariffs went from 25% to 100%.
Oh. Wow.
You know, now Kamala Harris talking about Trump ran off trade, didn't bring any back. Trump was the president that was bringing trade back to the United States, bringing labor back to the United States. I mean, did she not know he had the best unemployment rate and for blacks and Hispanics? I mean, she just gets up there and lies. The only reason I get mad about
the only thing, he had the best overall unemployment rate for everybody. I mean,
the only reason
the lowest he was at was 3.8 or 4.2, something in that range.
Well, the only reason I get mad is because, Kamala has this lying bitch. I just expect that to come out of her mouth. But the media is the ones that should be correct. And you go, no, that's not true. He brought work back to the United States. He didn't run work off. He brought it back. I don't exactly know what you're talking about there, Kamala. What's that, Gregory? Kamala's an idiot. Much Chihuahua smarter than she is. I'd rather let Fiona run the country. Yes. We'd all eat good if Fiona ran the country. I'm telling you what, man. Yeah, she makes you all out. What was that, Boo?
Who's Fiona?
Fiona is Princess Fiona. She is my oldest Chihuahua, who's 4. Lola's my other one.
Oh,
Lola's the crazy one.
Yeah, Lola's the one that likes to come get up on a lap. Like right now, I'm dressed in black. If she got up here, y'all wouldn't even know she's up here.
Unless she sneezed or turned her eyes all the way left or right.
She is weird. Oh, it's weird because I've had her on my shoulder before, and she'll be sleeping, and then all of a sudden she'll open her eyes and look, and you'll see people start texting, "What, Joe? Is there a demon on your shoulder?" I said, "Yeah, she's a little demon." I mean, technically, she is a little demon. She's a little terror.
No, I'm the guy from the end of the movie of Total Recall.
You know what? Hold on. Well, Pete, you know what? I do have one link on the hurricane. Let me see. Where is Google? Well,
Jay, you have a Beavis and Butthead type laugh.
Oh, I do? Okay.
Beavis. Cool. You Beavis, you.
You're like
yeah.
Okay, what did I do with it? Give me the link, people. There we go. It's I was watching some of the hurricane stuff earlier today. I was like, it was
a big storm. I mean,
it was a big storm for Cat 4, though. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah.
I expected more damage because, I mean, Katrina was a Cat 4, but it was a Cat 3 when it came on land. And it seemed to do far more damage than what was done.
You all down in Mississippi and New Orleans, you guys have a cookout when one comes through, don't you?
Yeah, well, for 2s and 1s and 2s, we do. We just party. We don't even worry about them. Even low 3s, most of the people won't leave. But once they get a high 3 or 4, everybody starts getting nervous.
Yeah, Sean, don't you know the story of Low Country Boyle?
No.
A hurricane came through, blew the lid off the water tower, and then the gas station exploded. and then what was caught inside the water tower from the ocean, that was all that was available to eat. So they had that, and that was all like shrimp and rice and
Huh.
other things that just blew in there from the ocean.
That's where jambalaya come from.
Jambalaya is some good stuff.
It's too,
If you
too
don't mind
spicy
really,
for me.
if you don't
Too
mind
spicy.
really hot sausage,
Nope.
jambalaya.
Well,
you
see,
gotta try at least
before I
once.
put this link up, let me explain before I put this link up. So, down here it's weird. So there's different levels of hot. So you get jambalaya that's mild, because a lot of times they'll use it for office parties and stuff like that. So you'll have a good sausage flavor and a good type of sausage, usually a mild andouille or something like that. But you can get it where your eyes are rolling back in your head, and you're like, Jesus, what the hell kind of sausage is in this thing? And everything in between. So it just depends what restaurant you're at. I mean, Louisiana, see, people get confused in here. When they hear seasoning, they think it's just hot. But down here, it's different. It's just seasoning. We do have heat on a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff, like certain types of gumbo, they're not really spicy. They're not like hot. They just have a
But
lot of
they
different
let you
seasoning.
know that they're there. I've had some of those gumbos.
Oh yeah, some of them do. It varies from.
It's a food that bites back, just a little. Some of them, but
It's I want you to know you had something. So okay, let's pop this link on right quick. All right, where does link go? All right, here we go. Hit the button. On Tuesday. Wait, why I'm not seeing that up here?
what are we trying to put up? Oh, the hurricane from the satellite.
Okay, it's not playing. I can hear it playing over here, but it ain't playing over there. So what's going on?
You must be clicking on the wrong screen.
Why
Oh,
is everyone freaking out about this specific hurricane and not like the hurricane from 2 weeks ago?
Because the one from 2 weeks ago was a Cat 2, and this is a Cat 4.
choice.
Cat 4 just lifts up houses and takes them away with it.
Yeah, it can take a 2x4 and fling it through a house and kill all of its occupants.
Yeah, this one had.
You're thinking of murder, Jay. Come on. Come on, man.
I'm just saying, if you wanted to make it look like an accident, you do that when a hurricane comes through.
Leah, they actually put this Cat 4 can put boats on top of buildings.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
you can put buildings
Katrina?
from all the way. You can bring buildings to the ground. So some of these.
What category was Katrina?
Katrina was a Cat 4 that downgraded to a Cat 3 when it made landfall.
Yeah.
Oh, so this could be as devastating as that?
It should be, but it doesn't look like it's going to be for some reason.
It hit. Luckily, on the side of Florida that it went, that the more populated side of Florida is the east side, not the west side. So not as much stuff to destroy.
Okay? So you'd know this, right, Joe? Wouldn't the Gulf side of Florida be like the more desirable ocean side to visit than the Atlantic?
So it's different. So Atlantic has what they call hard packed beaches, so you can drive on them. So you have Miami, Key West, Jackson, and Fort Lauderdale. That's spring break. That's where spring break happens.
Well, St. Augustine, which is like the first big city when you get across the border, that's a big touristy spot.
Yeah, well, St. Augustine's the oldest city in the United States, but and it's still got the old school walls and stuff. Yeah, it is a cool place.
Yeah. And
then on the other side, you've got Pensacola, Destin, Tampa, and Clear Gardens. You got a couple other cities. So, I mean, the populations, and then you've got Orlando in the middle. So really and truly, there's not all that much difference in the populations. It's
I'm talking about the beaches, like the ocean temperatures.
Oh, Tampa is a much more sought after place. So is a lot of places along the coast. But Pensacola, but see, here it's different. So the Panhandle spreads the people out, whereas Miami, it's going to be South Miami Beach is where they're going to be. Or if they're going to be in Jackson, they're going to be in Jackson Beach,
and
right below
Palm
Fort
Beach,
Walton
West
Beach.
Palm Beach,
West Palm Beach, which is right there.
They're
going to be right there.
Those are also most of the people on the East Coast are also seasonal people, so they're usually not down there until fall through winter. And the people who are there year round, they usually are on they're more spread out, like Joe said, on the west side, on the Gulf side.
So on the Gulf side, you start at Pensacola, and you go all the way down to Tampa. That whole coastline is people live on it, the whole entire coastline. And you probably, if it's on the beach, it's probably a rental. If it's across the street from the beach, it's probably not.
It's probably the guy renting it.
Well, no, they got a lot of, so there's been so many storms that the beaches have changed a lot. It's way different. The Gulf side is way prettier than the Atlantic side now, because everything's been wiped out. So everything's brand new. These multi-million-dollar homes, they cost you $5,000 a week. Some cost you $15,000 a week. Shit, some cost more than that, but they're beautiful homes. They're on the water. You walk down the front stairs into the sand and into the Gulf. The Gulf is actually prettier than the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, but the problem with most beaches in Florida is the little oil patches. They're all over the beach. You can't avoid them because of all the drilling and stuff in the Gulf. And
not any beaches I've been on. I've been
really?
on beaches all. Yeah, they're not. So
every time I've been to Florida, there's always big globs of oil and shit in the beach.
Yeah, no, they after that big rig, they cleaned all that shit up, and there's none of that anymore. And if any of it's seen, it's instantly and immediately cleaned up, but you don't even see it anymore. And they keep net lines in case there's any other spills or anything happens, or even if there's a boat spill, they put them out there so they can catch them before they get into the open water. It's too big of an industry now. The coasts are just too big of industries in Florida now. Don't matter what coast you're on, it's just big money. The real difference is the Gulf Coast is going to be more relaxing than the East Coast is, because the East Coast is going to have more Tina Boppers in it. The Gulf Coast is going to have more rich people in it. Unless you're down in South Beach in Miami or West Palm. West Palm, there's a lot of rich people in West Palm.
Yes, there are.
Yeah, so it just really depends where you are. Tampa, depending on what part of Tampa you're in, there's a lot of wealthy people there as well. It's what do you mean Miami? Miami's way down on the east side. It's way down at the bottom of the state on the east side, on the East Coast. It's on the Atlantic side, yeah. And Tampa's about halfway down the state on the Gulf side.
Yeah, West Palm Beach is another popular place. Is about probably 40 minutes, just about, I think, northeast of Tampa.
It's
about the middle of the state.
So and then of course there's Orlando in between the two. So Orlando's in the middle of the state. Yeah, they did that because of hurricanes. That's why they did that. Because it'd be expensive to have to redo Disney every time there's a freaking hurricane down there, because there's a lot of them.
It was actually built in a swamp, part of the Okefenokee, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, it's on the edge or the side or something. What's that, Carlin? You know what? Let me see if I got this damn video. I've been messing around, and I never did see if I put it back in. So let's go see if it's on the system. Is that it? No, that ain't it. That's just the same old one. I guess it ain't gonna let me have it. Let's try it this way. Maybe so. Carol, then we'll talk about that in a few minutes. I'm just trying to get this stupid thing up here if it'll let me.
See, you got a camera there, Jay.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's really choppy. You can see how you see the movement trails. I'm not moving my hand. I'm not the Flash.
You're like
my hand
your aura. Your
Yeah.
wonderful aura is surrounding you.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you. I hadn't thought about that. That's another special effect I have behind me. That's my own doing.
I don't think it's cooperating with you tonight, Mr. Montaldo.
Or you might have opened up a pop-up that is behind there or something. I don't know.
No, what the hell it is with that thing? For some reason, it won't let me put in the link. Guess we don't get to hear better. What's that, Christopher? No, there was a lot of damage done from it. Maybe we'll do a little mini special on it in the week, but see what the real damage is. Well, you when it comes to storms are weird. So if you watch this storm, it's cruising up to the coast. Right as it gets to the coast, it's getting ready to slam into the coast, going to wipe Tallahassee out. And it makes a little right jog, just like a little jog, like it was trying to avoid something. Like the eye said, "Whoa, what the hell is that?" It's weird how they do that kind of stuff. Matter of fact, it's one of the reasons we evacuated for Katrina, because my wife and I, we were out gambling. We were at the casino, a night and a half before the storm hit. So we're at the casino, we're doing our thing, we're having a good old time, and I'm sitting there drinking and I'm playing poker and video poker actually. So I was just sitting there playing poker, and I noticed every now and then the storm was cruising and it would kind of do like that. And actually to the left. I was like, what the hell? It's just little nods. I'm like, nah, I'm seeing things. And then that was about 8 o'clock. So it's about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. We're sitting there, we're drinking, and I got a little buzz, and I'm watching this thing going, this son of a bitch is moving towards New Orleans. So I went and found Linda. I said, get your ass. We're going to the hotel. We're getting our shit. We're going home. She's like, what? I said, we're leaving town. She's like, now I've never let my family goes ape shit because I never leave for any storms. They give me nothing but shit because I don't like to leave for storms. And she said, we're leaving for the storm. I said, yeah, we're leaving. So I said, call all the kids up and tell them, get their shit together, get out of the houses. We're leaving. They're like, what? I said, I called everybody I knew. So when they heard Joe was leaving, everybody wasn't even an argument. Everybody just left. They were like, and I know one of my stepdaughter's husbands were giving shit. She said, no, Joe never leaves. If he's leaving, it's going to be bad. We're out of here. Well, their house was 12 foot underwater, so it's a good thing they left. My two stepdaughters that lived in the other apartment, the roof got ripped off and flooded out in the entire building, upstairs and downstairs. Wow. Everybody we knew got wiped out. Now, our house got roughly 4 inches of water in it. That was it. No other damage. But everybody else we knew would have probably got drowned or ended up dead or because we left. And it was all because I was just sitting there and it kept just jogging a little bit. And I knew if it kept doing that, it was really going to put it over New Orleans in a major way. And sure enough, that's what happened.
And it increased in strength because it basically spanked across the ocean and got stronger and stronger until it hit land.
It was weird that storm was because that storm was a 5 and it went down to a 4. Then it went down to a 3. Then it went up to a 4. And right as it started buffering the coast, it was starting to buffer the coast as a Cat 4. So people say, oh, it was a 3. No, it had been buffering the coast as a 4 for a couple of hours. And then it went down to a 3, but it was still it was coming on. It was a top of the 3 as high as you can get without crossing over. So, I mean, it pushed a 26-foot surge in. Where I'm sitting right now, it pushed a 24-foot surge in. It's yeah. So that's why I said I was kind of wondering how this happened in Florida down there. I've heard anything from a 10-foot to a 20-foot surge down there. And they do have videos of houses being taken off and run down the roads and stuff. And what's that, Pete? Yeah, that's boats laying all over the place. Storms are rough. I mean, they're not for the faint of heart. And
nope.
I tell people all the time, if it don't, that is
especially out at sea. I remember one time we were on a cruise. We actually rode the eye of the hurricane, dude.
Oh yeah,
we rode the eye of it. Calm as hell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Calm.
And they'll try to stay in there as long as they can because they don't want to get they don't want to get out in that rough if they don't have to.
Nope. We stayed in.
I remember when Agnes came through, it was like 72 or 73. My brother and I were watching, and all of a sudden, there's like wind for hours and hours, and just like the rain pummeling the house. And then we heard nothing all of a sudden, so we ran outside, and our parents were like, "Get back in here!" We're like, "What? The storm's over!" Like, no, this is just the calm before the storm. Get inside. And then like 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, it was like, boom, all hell broke loose again.
What's that, Ricky? So what is this? Oh, this is, let me see if I can make it work. This is shots of Jupiter.
Oh, flat Earth.
Yeah, so you flat earthers can say it's flat Earth.
That's flat Earth.
It's don't get me started on the firmament. I don't.
What's that on that guy's leg? That didn't look too good.
Okay, I don't want to think I want to know what that was on that guy's leg. That looked like some kind of.
That was.
Oh, look, Paradilias. Oh, look, man, what is this hole in damn?
Why is that censored?
Are we supposed to see that?
Why is that censored?
I don't know. I don't think we're supposed to see that.
What's that?
That's still Jupiter. It's all Jupiter. It was just 30 images of Jupiter that somebody sent me.
Does one of them have a giant mothership in orbit?
Look at this. This orange spot, you can fit Earth in 3 times. That's freaking amazing.
No, I think it's 63 times.
It's that's just whatever it is. It's freaking amazing. I was watching. They were showing what Earth used to look like when it had rings.
Mm.
Yeah, well, none of us were alive then, so it didn't really matter.
No, not at
It's
all.
that was 450 million years ago is when that was. Let's see. Ukraine forces attack on Russia's most advanced air defense system and take it out.
Did you guys know that
Wow.
what's his name?
I don't know anybody's name. What's his name?
The guy that played the bad wizard in freaking the Hobbit movies with all the elves and the wizards?
Mm-hmm.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Yeah. What was
Sauron
the
or
guy-
Sauron?
The mean one. The guy that
Oh, Sauron.
Dracula
Yeah.
back in the 70s. What was his name? It's not
Oh,
Chris
Bela
Isaac.
Lugosi.
No. He played Chris something.
Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christopher. Yeah, that's Sauron.
Did you know he played metal music?
I
Did you know
wouldn't
he was in
doubt
a
it.
metal band before he
Yep.
passed away?
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was also a World War II hero for I believe the British Army, and he worked with British military intelligence MI6, and basically some people think that he was what was inspired the character of 007.
Do you think it was actually him playing the guitar?
Sure, he was a very talented individual.
Was it him doing all those guitar solos?
I don't see why not. He knew how to do all kinds of things.
Wow.
Jay, I would love to have at least 1/8 of all the knowledge in your brain.
And it's just I'm just good at history with TV personalities and that kind of thing. So
No, I'm talking about everything, dude.
I
Seriously.
absorb a few things.
I'm not knocking you, brother. I'm
Yeah,
just
thank
saying
you.
you're
He's saying
just like
you're fucking crazy, is what he's saying. But anyway,
Yeah.
I'm just like saying, if I'm stuck, you could be Alex, instead of having Alexa, you could be Alex.
Alex, there you go, Alex.
So you're doing that, Alex.
Alex, why is this an idiot? Science discovers mysterious structure buried beneath Mars' surface.
What?
Oh yeah, look at this
structure
big,
though. Is it a
too.
natural structure or something that man-made structure?
Or is it just one of those pictures?
It says
that
concealed.
They take
It says concealed structures. It's underneath ice deposits. Ooh.
And
know.
where
They
did
don't
this
know if
one
it's-
come from? Where was this from? What
Was this
magazine?
Was one decided? No, this is Brightside News.
Never heard of them.
It's a story by Rebecca Shaft. Gravity variations on Mars. This is actually something that came from NASA and from Guelph University of Technology and Science Congress. So it comes from a couple of places, actually. I don't know. It looks interesting.
Well, it's a well-reviewed peer paper, or whatever, a peer-reviewed paper, or whatever they call it.
I don't care.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Someone took a picture and she probably saw this little building there that was not man-made, but a hologram of some sort. And she decided that it was a secret. It was old kind, whatever. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Anything you talk about Mars is a bunch of bullshit.
Why are you hating on Mars, man? We come from Mars, man.
I think it's just a lot of propaganda, man. Seriously.
We come from Mars, man. You know that, right? This, I'm gonna prove this to you. So just so you, I'm gonna prove it right now. So the optimal body temperature for a human is 73 degrees Fahrenheit. The optimal body temperature on planet Earth is higher than that. But on Mars, 55 million years ago, it was 73 degrees. Actually, I'm sorry, it's 63 degrees is what the optimal temperature is. It's 73 here, 63 there. Now, our planet is set on a 23 and 3/4 hours day. That's what we rotate as. Mars rotates at 24 and 1/4 hours. The human biological clock is set at 24 and 1/4 hours. Why would that be if we were native to Earth? Gaia keeps trying to kick us off because we don't belong here. We came here probably because Mars got its ass kicked by something and we colonized Earth. Probably
or
the
we were
original
on
colony.
the planet that is now a rubble field, the asteroid belt, then went to Mars, then came here.
That's possible too.
Or the Anunnaki had a bunch of spaceships that flew us down here and put us on land.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, somewhere along the line, we lost our technology. Atlantis was probably the original colony of the Martians, and whatever happened to it, it got destroyed. And after that, we reverted. Right now, we would revert quickly. If there was a nuclear war and we didn't have electricity, no, we'd revert quickly as a race. We'd be back 300 years in a matter of weeks.
Yeah.
In years, we'd be back 400 years before we started going forward again. And if this happens 200 years from now,
reduce the population of the planet by half.
Yeah. But if this happens 200 years from now, when there's no more books and everything's digital, we will revert back 10,000 years because we will have no way of figuring anything out. See, today there'll still be books around and stuff like that you can find and read and understand. But when everything goes all digital and everything's wiped by EMP pulse, then there is no going back.
Well, even if the memories, like let's say 20 years in the future, you find a memory stick, but the power grid has been down for centuries. How are you going to play it? How are you going to get that information? A book is the only way you're going to get information because unless it catches on fire.
I know how to create electricity, so I'm just saying. But the generation after me wouldn't know.
Huh?
See, that's the problem. I know how I could go build and make a generator, but 2 generations or 3 generations that they won't be able to.
Right. Yeah.
And it'll be like Mad Max. Well,
I'm waiting for that. We'll be dead though.
Yeah, but we'll get killed in the process of it turning into Mad Max world.
I got guns, baby. I'm not dying in the process of taking some motherfuckers with me, man. I'll be Mad Max. What y'all talking about?
Guns only go so far. You notice how in the movies that the ammo only went so far. Everyone was like, the ammo was precious to everybody. So you have to have something that's reloadable.
So I would just mount 4 20 million Gatling guns, one on each corner of my house, and just say, approach at your own risk.
Yeah.
Most people wouldn't even bother coming up to the house. They'd be like, no, I don't want to die. So let's just go on.
Except if there was a zombie apocalypse.
Then the guns better be full because we're going to be in shit if they're not. What's it, Janice? No, I know we're going to get to the polls in a little while. Well, no, I told you in the beginning of the show, well, you might not have been here. In the beginning, Trump is currently 21 points ahead of Kamala when it comes to the economy. And I think it's 17 points ahead when it comes to the border. The only matter of fact, in all of the top 5 categories, the only place he's trailing is on abortion, and he's not that far behind. And wait, there have been predictions now that he might flip New York.
Wow.
Oh, yes. New Yorkers have come out and said he might flip New York.
Well, yeah, because that mayor got arrested and he caused a bunch of shit up there.
So I don't know, guys. They don't like Hochul. They think Hochul Mogul, whatever her name is, they don't really like her. They don't like.
I'm surprised she hasn't come down. They didn't bust her.
No, because she's just shutting up. She ain't done anything. You don't even hear anything about her. She's not.
I mean, his whole administration, just before his arrest, people were like bailing off of the platform left and right, quitting their jobs.
Oh yeah, on Pretty Boy, it's We'll see what. Oh wait, what's this? Who sent me this? Where did this come from? 39-year-old exquisitely preserved mammoth is the earliest evidence of humans in the Arctic 39,000 years ago. This is another one you could probably sell steaks off of.
Yeah.
What's that, Christopher? No. Jay and I were talking about this. It was a real thing. There was someone that was found. Yeah, I don't know how many millions of dollars it was costing, but Japan's getting uppity. Japan gets a new leader who wants to remake the U.S. military alliance. Yes. We want nuclear weapons. We want carriers. We want to be able to kick China's ass. No, Japan. Look, you're like Nazis. I mean, sorry, you're like the Germans. We give you too much power. You flip out and lose your mind.
Listen, even though they were not allowed to make military weapons or Navy equipment, they were able to make the world's largest battleship under the nose of the entire planet and then start World War II with it.
And they got
they had a beast of a Navy. The Japanese they had a beast of an Air Force and a beast of a Navy.
Pardon the vernacular, but they also had a shitload of tanks and planes and dudes.
Yeah. But they had to know, like Germany, they only had X amount of people. Sooner or later, they were going to run out of people.
Well, they didn't take that into account, I don't think.
NATO, newest allies, intercept 2 Russian fighter jets. Who's our newest allies?
I don't know. United Arab Emirates, maybe? I don't know.
No, just got to be somebody in Scandinavia. Oh, Finland and Sweden. Yeah, it had to be a Scandinavian country. Using F-18s and JS-198s or some shit, JS-189s or something. Running them Russians off. Get out of here, Russia. See, that's just got to irritate the Russians because these are 2 countries that were never a threat to them. Now they're armoring up and live next door to them.
One of their former Soviet states has invaded them just as much as they have invaded it.
I know.
I mean,
what's
it's
this?
kind of like watching the Three Stooges, except there are only 2 of them on the screen.
Earth-like planet found orbiting did star hints at Earth's survival beyond the sun. Okay. For you humans that may be holding out hope for this, that's not how it's going to happen in our solar system. Our sun's going to go red giant and it's going to engulf Earth. Yes, it's going to go all the way out to about the edge of Mars. So Mars may come back to life, and some of those moons around Jupiter and Saturn will probably come up. Even Pluto might warm up. But Earth will be gone. Yes, it will be crisp toast. It would be debris. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to break y'all's heart, but that's just how that's going to happen.
And then what did we say a few shows ago? I can't remember the exact number, but over 260 satellites between Jupiter and Saturn alone. That's not counting Earth and Mars. There's 260 planets around Jupiter and Saturn alone in our solar system. Just think about that.
Yeah, they can really a lot of places there. And there's already a few we're watching for life now. What was this one? Who sent me this? He's a slave owning mafia boss. Oh, this is what the British Foreign Secretary David Lammy is calling Putin.
What?
Yeah, a slave owning mafia boss. I didn't know you own slaves.
Wow.
Mafia boss, I can go with, but
mafia boss fits. Slave owning, I don't know. You have to bring up some pretty hard proof of that.
Laser reveals ancient settlement hidden deep in the Amazon rainforest. With this new stuff they've been using, they're finding stuff in the desert and in the rainforest. Obviously, humans were much more spread out than anybody wants to admit to. I mean, we were all over the freaking place.
They would have to change the history books, Joe.
They're going to have to. Then I don't think they have a choice.
Yeah.
Just what we found when ICAR found the O problem in Central and South America. 98% of the people in those two in Central America and South America have O blood. That's just weird. Everybody else on the planet's not like that. I mean, everywhere else you go, like the United States, it's like 38% O, 37% A, so on and so forth, like it's supposed to be. Not in South and Central America, it's not.
Are they the highest percentage of abductee experiencers?
No, it just says they don't give you an RH factor. They just give you the blood type. The RH factor is not mentioned for whatever reason. They don't mention it, and we have tried to find out.
Let me go off this OH positive, whatever it is, but let's go with Oak Island for about 5 minutes. The shit they're finding on Oak Island, could that not change the history books? And if it can, will they allow it to happen?
No, they won't. They won't, because out in college, and I'm not a college professor or anything, but in college I wrote a paper for an art class, an Oriental art class, where I proved the artwork and the types of clay vessels that the ancient Japanese made traveled across the Aleutian Island land bridge down the west coast of North America, Central America, parts of northern South America, and then back across the Polynesian and Hawaiian Islands back to Japan. And I proved that in a paper. And then the Human Genome Project proved that again when they said that most of the natives in North, Central, and South America are related to the Japanese and Koreans. So they had interaction thousands, perhaps millions of years ago, but I know for sure at least 12,500 BCE minimum is when the contact began.
Okay.
Now,
So, but
yeah.
you would never see that in our history books.
Oh no,
I'm
of course
talking-
not. You don't see that at all. I had to
And
dig to get that information.
well, I bet you. Yeah, but what I'm saying is about Oak Island finding all that stuff with so-called treasure. I think the treasure is that they're finding treasure, but it's not what they think it is. I think they can't find jack shit up there, and so they're just doing stuff just to keep the show going.
I don't
I
think
agree.
that's true. They have found some things, but
And not
it
what they're
wasn't
looking
jack shit.
for. Not
Yeah,
what they're looking
but it's worse than that because
No.
that one guy that was out there with that seismic meter said that he had caught him hoaxing shit. Salting, what is it called? They call it salting the mine.
Yeah.
He said he caught him doing that on a couple of occasions because he said one piece he had found was definitely an old ancient piece. He said, but you could tell when you were holding it, really looking at it, when he got the not the microscope, the what the hell do you call them? The hell. My brain just drew a blank on it. I got one in my damn hand. The magnifying glass. When he got it out, he said you could tell some of this gold had been polished. It was clean. There was no dirt in the cracks. He said obviously it was not something that had been in the ground for a long period of time. There was no tarnish on it at all. He said as he rubbed it off, the shine came back. He said there's no way. He said if it had been on the ground for 1,000 years or 500 years, he said it wouldn't look like this. So he came out and said it, and then they just foo-fooed him. He just went away. And I don't know if it's true or not because I know they've got, how long has that show been running? They got a lot of money tied up in this show.
They're coming up on the 12th season.
And
Okay.
they got equipment
they're
out
on
there.
something. I don't think it's going to be what they expect it to be, but they've been finding some, at least things that it may be too much of a coincidence, but things that they are supposed to be clued in on finding, which points them in the right direction. It seems they have found some of those, indicators.
Why don't they just? Well, they always drain the swamp if they know where the damn ship is. Why don't they just dig up the ship?
Because I think it will collapse and destroy the ship if they don't do it correctly.
But they had 12 freaking years.
My battery's dying, guys.
You're
All right,
dying.
Leah.
What? You better
The
go
battery
drink
to
something.
the cell phone is about to die out, so I'm gonna say good night because I have
Good
it
night,
plugged
Leah.
in. It's plugged in and charging, but it's taken up. It won't keep a charge.
That's because your
Okay,
energy,
Leah,
your
you have a good
alien
night,
self
sweetheart.
is sucking the energy out of it. That's why.
No, I
Good night.
Yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, we know.
There's a ghost. No, there's a ghost.
You
in there.
contactees suck all
There's a
the
ghost.
energy out of stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, thanks. Oh, now I'm down to 5%. I was
See?
just at 10.
See, that's what
yeah,
I'm saying. You're sucking
It's
it
a ghost.
dry.
Your cameras are consuming too much energy for this.
Sucking it dry. Damn aliens.
All right.
What are we gonna do?
Good
Good night,
night.
Leah.
Yeah, thanks for
We go-
coming in.
Okay. Where are we? oh shit, we get ready to be on some what's that, Jerry? You mean Trump? Look. I seen Kamala at the border today. She just sounded like she's drunk. Okay,
Yeah,
let me
and
rephrase
so
this.
I got a question.
This.
I got a
Go
question for you and Sean, and I really and anyone in the audience who knows the answer, because she keeps saying this. And this is part of her platform statement at the border. We need to fix our broken immigration system. What exactly is broken about it? This is the people that aren't allowed in because they're criminals. What's broken? I mean, really would like to know what is wrong with our immigration system.
Well, they've been finding a lot of people coming across the border that are on the watch list, and Biden and them were trying to get them not to say anything about it. And then they've also been evidence that the Biden administration actually told the ICE not to say stuff about particular types of things they've been running across.
Well, I got something to tell you guys. Up here in Pittsburgh, where I live, not a half a mile away, a kid got killed on his motorcycle. He was killed by an illegal alien. Illegal alien, yeah. He was. Yeah, and they had to ship him out to Philadelphia, from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia to whoever handles it. And yeah, he was illegal.
Wow.
Yeah.
What the hell, man? They sorry, I'm messing with this as we're going along. But there's been a lot of that where illegals are going on. What's that, Jimmy? He should have never talked about eating cats. Well, that's kind of weird because I was watching Colorado News the other night, and they were showing that body cam footage of 2 different cops arresting people for eating pets. So maybe it is true, and the regular media just don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't know.
No, because they know Trump's right. They know he's right.
So y'all remember Janet Jackson came out and said that she had heard that Kamala Harris had Irish blood and that she was part Irish.
Yep.
And that she wasn't black.
Candace Owens, dude. Candace Owens.
That was Janet Jackson too. Because Janet Jackson's spokesperson came out and said something got her ass in trouble. And so she said, hey, look, I didn't know. And she said, I just thought that's what I was told. Well, the media made a big deal out of it, and then come to find out, because that wasn't, what's the Kansas Zone? The other cute little black girl's been doing an investigation into it. And they found out that, yes, her great grandfather was somebody Flanagan. So she does have Irish blood. They also found a woman in the picture is not her grandmother. It was the maid.
Yep.
Which also proves she wasn't raised middle class. She was raised better than middle class. So I mean, every time you look at this woman, she's
said the other night that the part of California where she says to have grown up, Kamala Harris says to have grown up, is that it was. What did Leah say it was? An upper middle class. So yeah, $200,000 a year or better. I mean, rich family.
Well, Jimmy, I mean, actually, Biden don't like her, and if he didn't think they would bump him off, he probably already would have said something. No, Biden. Oh, I did see that where Biden's reneging on his promise to the Ukraine about stuff. Yeah, because he don't care. He's almost out. Yeah.
Well, no, actually, he is out. He said he was out on his last speech to the UN, but he did also. His son lost some lawsuits, so it doesn't matter about the agreements. His son's going to go to jail probably in a few months anyway.
Yeah, the only thing that's going to keep him out of jail is if Kamala Harris went to that. I don't know if she pardons him, it won't make a real problem.
Well, it might.
China's stock markets are partying like it's 2008. This is the hotel, man. Putin ally issues nuclear warning to NATO. Look, dude, you better get off with the nukes. We will kill you. Any attack on NATO is attacking the United States. Science discovers that the Earth has only 6 continents, not 7. Well, you people have been telling me for years it had 7. You lying bastards.
That just proves my point 7 minutes ago.
Actually, all of what was just said is actually 100% technically wrong. Planet Earth was born with 1 continent.
Yep, Pangea.
And then it broke apart.
It was Pangea. That was the original continent. And
Correct.
What bothers me about Pangea is the ancients knew about it.
Yeah. How?
Yeah. How did they know about it if it didn't exist? I mean, it broke up a long time ago. I mean, it took a while for it to get to where it is today.
Billions of years.
Probably hundreds of millions of years. It's
I said billions. Like 1 or 2 billion a year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I know, but see, somehow or another, the ancients knew about Pangea. And it's crazy. They had maps of it, and they show it because we know today we can piece it together because the continents fit against each other, like Africa and South America. And all.
Well, you need an advanced computer to like play the model backwards, but yeah, it can be done.
No, they got a puzzle now that your little 5-year-old can do it.
Oh,
It
nice.
it just contours. It uses the contours. Yeah. Wait, no, Jack. It's not going to be perfect because there's no way to make it perfect because some of those shorelines have melted away and disappeared over the years with rise and tides and stuff. Fox weather Bob Van Dylan stops hurricane report to save woman. Well, that's a good thing, man. Scientists discover hidden ancient forest on treeless island. Well, what? Okay.
Oh
See,
my God.
How do you wait? What? How do you find a hidden forest on an island with no trees?
that's my point. I'm not even going to read because I know it's going to aggravate me.
That aggravated me already. You're bringing up some aggravating stories, Joe.
Black hole blowtorches causing nearby stars to explode. Hubble telescope reveals.
All right. God Almighty. Lord help us.
Let's see. Siberian president suggests war in Ukraine will end according to Korean scenario. Okay, I don't know what that means.
And there's like a bunch of vampires down in New Orleans, and they should
Well, there is
just
a bunch
take
of
over.
vampires down in New Orleans. I
Well,
just
you
don't
know what? Then they should just take over the city.
They can't because the regular people will kill their asses. So no, the room has always been the same down here. That there's always been vampires in New Orleans, and what they do now instead of sucking someone dry or doing that, because there's blood banks now. If you want to get blood, you can get blood from a blood bank. You can make arrangements to get it, but they like to go catch women or men when they're loaded. Usually bite them on the inside the thigh or somewhere like that, and drain some blood, so that whatever that person's high on, whether it's marijuana, drugs, cocaine, that the vampire gets to experience it. Because that's the only way they can get high. They can't get high by smoking or drinking or popping anything. It doesn't
They have
work.
to get already tainted blood. Yeah.
Yeah, so they got to get it while it's in the blood. Don't ask me, Chris. I'm just telling you what people say. They say that Antoine's a vampire because he's got 150 years of pictures.
The idea was captured twice in film. There was a comedy with George Hamilton. I forget the title of it, but it was a comedy. He's a vampire, and he accidentally or on purposely he bites a wino in the street, and he gets drunk, and he flies into an apartment building, and they think it's a black chicken, so they try to kill it. And then the other time is I forget the name of the TV show. Is Night something or other, but
Night Stalker. Night Stalker.
Huh?
Night Stalker.
That's the one. The guy was a cop and a vampire, and there were a few times where he would, bite someone who was, lit up, and he got lit up himself because of what was in their blood. So it's a pretty neat concept.
It is. Chinese military put on high alert after Japanese warship enters Taiwan Strait. So Japan just gave them the bird.
That's is that for real? Is that clickbait?
No, that's today. It's but I mean,
how many days? We got 36, 39 days. 39 days. Oh my God.
Yep, 39.
Can we make it a month?
As long as I don't listen to
breakthroughs, or is shit going to explode tomorrow?
I don't know.
Like I said earlier in the show, Iran did not drop the other shoe. Israel did with them bombing and allegedly killing Hezbollah leader. What's his name? Nasrallah. World War III might have already just started. We're probably already reporting on it.
Oh, look! They found a 500-year-old shark.
How about all them sharks?
Alive?
Yeah, he's the oldest living vertebrate on the planet. They're tracking around, following around. Trump makes statement about war in the Ukraine after he's meeting with Zelensky. Yeah, he said that this can be fixed.
Yeah, he's been saying before he is inaugurated on January 20th that he'll have at least the Ukraine war stopped.
Russians' rapid failure is the worst military blunder in decades. Oh, Russia's rapid dominance failure is the worst military blunder in decades.
This is what happens when you keep an idle military as opposed to an active one like we did. You dummy.
Netanyahu left Israel to trick Hezbollah's leaders.
What?
Yes, I don't know what the hell that means. I guess that's when they blew him up with they blew him up with those stupid little pager bombs, and they blew them up with goat bombs. Then they blew them up with telephone bombs. I don't know how Israel gets this close to them.
That was something about all those pagers going off, man.
I know.
That
Oh, I would have thought, from where they bought them, look at the bottom of your pager, made in Israel. Oh, gee, let's use this device for our internal communications. Boom. Yeah, not a good idea.
but those weren't. They were built here in America. In America, I do believe, dude.
Somewhere over, I'll bet you somewhere over in that area it distributes those same devices, and I'll bet you that distributor, I'll bet you is in Israel, or is a business nearby that is controlled by a very strong Israeli person. There's no other way they got that close to affect that many devices, 5,000 devices, and 2,000 of them explode on a single code and killed, like the first attack was like 8 or 9 people and injured 40 or 50. I mean, come on, that's deep state kind of,
Oh yeah.
You gotta take years and decades to get those kind of plans going together.
Let's see. A recycled universe could explain why everything is so flat. Physicists. Oh my God.
Oh God.
I hope the flat earthers don't see this.
Flat
man.
earthers,
Holy
flat
crap.
universers. What's next?
Oh my God.
I know what's next. Flatliners.
Newest Starlink satellites are leaking even more radiation than their predecessors.
Nice.
Okay, well, at least they're in space where they're not affecting us.
Yeah, but
eventually
our alien friends have something to say about that.
Oh wait, what's this? Go back. U.S. nuclear reactor breakthrough unravels plutonium oxide secrets at 3,000 K. I don't know what that means, but it sounds interesting.
3,000 Kelvin is very, very hot.
Dramatic flip.
Okay. What was it? Who is it? The company that is going to reopen up part of 3 Mile Island for part of their operations. They just announced this week, and damn it, I can't remember the name of the company.
I did not hear that.
Yeah. The 3 Mile Island that exploded in the 80s is going to be.
Well, it didn't necessarily explode. It just leaked, but yeah,
no,
it could have exploded.
If you look at the buildings, they've been partially exploded.
Let's see. Dramatic footage shows strikes and explosions in Beirut. Yeah, Lori, I love you, baby, but you're a Democrat. That's why I pick on you. Well, they said they post some stupid shit sometimes. I just can't help myself. It's Egyptian pyramids were built using an incredible, clever machine. New research suggests. Yeah, new research was suggesting
the water machine. Yeah, it's been proposed. No, it would leave marks that you would see even today.
I don't know what this is. Let's see what it is. Let's go back and see. It's the largest pyramid in the world is not in Egypt.
No, it's in Mexico.
Yeah, it's in Mexico.
God, I love your knowledge, Jay. I'm sorry. Dude, I love you to death, man, but your knowledge is impeccable. I'm serious.
Hey, Sean, here's a good one for you. Where on Earth is the largest desert?
I don't have a clue.
It is Antarctica. Most people go for the Sahara, which is the actual largest sand desert, but Antarctica is the largest actual desert, which is defined by annual rainfall, and it gets less than the Sahara.
Thank you for that.
No
oil
problem.
Experts issue major prediction on price of oil in 2025 as OPEC fights back against America.
Yeah, but not America. Trump.
Well, Biden's taking on some of Trump's old policies and brought him back. So
he didn't open up the Alaska pipeline. He didn't reopen fracking.
No, but he's pumping way more oil now. That's why it's been coming down. He's pumping way more oil. It's down to $71 a barrel. It was staying around 100.
Yeah,
it gets down to 50.
And it's stayed steady, but I think
it won't be good until it gets down to $50 a barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least they're trying something, They only did it because we're so close to election. China is watching Russia's failures. It don't mean it's going to help you any, China. Your equipment just as crappy as theirs. See, that's the difference by having true quality control, as China's going to find out. That's why they get so many problems with all their shit. They don't. There's too much corruption, not enough quality control.
Well, not just quality control, but also portion control. I think it was Fox or ABC was talking about this last week. and they were talking about American manufacturers, I think, for the most part, but not manufacturers, but food manufacturers like Kraft and other places that make like cakes and prepackaged snacks and whatnots. And everyone agreed across the board in this panel that all of the proportions from 30 years ago have decreased, like in some cases 50 and 25%. So they're selling you the same, tasty cake or the same Twinkie or the same whatever your favorite snack is at the same price it was, years ago, but you're getting half of what it should be. So that's another way that they're, the economy is crashing.
God
look
bless
at
you guys.
Lozinski wants 8-10 warthogs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why? He's already killed all their tanks.
Oh no, he ain't even got close to killing. They got like 15,000 tanks or something. They had someone got. We looked it up.
Okay, let me rephrase that. He's killed all the tanks that are in Ukraine.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, all right, thank you.
That is true.
Trump will never give them warthogs.
He doesn't need them unless Putin, commits his full force of tanks and the whole, Red Army. We have no need.
No, Jay, because we're part of NATO, we'll just send our warthogs over there.
Yeah, but
why do they need it?
Now, Zelensky's become a nice little con artist. I mean, he's bribed us for billions of dollars. Or I'm sorry, excuse me, he's bilked us for billions of dollars, and then he's also, trying to get more equipment. He's just,
but see, he dealt with Biden, man. He ain't going to get that with Trump. You know that as well as I do.
I don't know. I think he walked over Trump a little bit too, but
no.
Yeah, I think he did. I think it's a little bit on Trump's part, more hero worship, that he likes Zelensky being, a young entrepreneur /
No, I don't think
so. No, Trump has been extremely harsh on Zelensky.
Yeah.
Until today, he was tearing his ass up. He said that we shouldn't be giving him this kind of stuff, that he's going to have to give concessions if he wants this war to end. It's not going to just be Russia's not just going to let him keep everything.
Well, I think he should pay back the billions of dollars we gave him.
Yeah,
and
right. That's a fucking fantasy.
Even under Trump, did we get anything back from World War II? I mean, France, Spain, Germany, Japan. There's a few more other countries I'm sure I can name all throughout Europe still owe us money, millions and millions, rounded upwards for inflation.
So but he's making NATO pay them countries.
That's what I like about Trump. He said,
yeah, but I'm saying he hasn't recouped it all. We are still in arrears for World War II, and that's 70, 80 years ago now.
But Jay, honestly, dude, okay, NATO's paying now. They're putting their money in. America is not covering their ass anymore.
Well, that's
you
good.
See what I mean?
That's a start.
Yeah. So let's take a look at Russia's self-propelled artillery vehicle. So this is which tank is this? This is a propelled howitzer. It's a 271 Gazgaski. They have 130 active, 1,800 in reserve. So that's 2,000. Then they've got this. I can't even say this word. It's they have 700. They have 600 active and 750 in reserve. So that puts them at almost 4,000 tanks. Then they have
what kind of materials? What kind of materials?
Well, I don't know. We haven't seen these yet, and these tanks look pretty modern. We haven't seen these yet.
They have a good Russian steel, which corrodes instantly upon touching oxygen.
Actually, technically, these aren't tanks. These are or mobile howitzers, is what they're calling them.
Yeah, mobile. Weapons.
Here's another. Here's another one. No, they look like tanks, but they got just huge ass guns on them.
Oh, okay.
Long guns instead of short guns. So all together, hold on, let's go. They've got 7,000 of those.
Wow.
So here, this looks like we might be getting into tanks here. So this is the S2S19. There's 5 versions of that. There's 600 active and 150 in reserve.
Jeez.
This is a armored vehicle. They've only got 42 of those. This is a Chusta tank. They've only got 40 of those. This one, they don't tell you how many they got. This one, they've only got 82 of. This one, they won't tell you how many they've got. They've got 222 millimeter thermic multi-rocket launchers. They got 55 of those.
Oh, and those probably have like, a dozen or so rockets that launch from one,
Yeah, and here's a
mobile
couple
device.
of, all together, they've got about 4,000 different types of missile launchers.
Yeah, but how come they have all that? And I know we don't have it, but why? Russia's got all these mobile like rocket launchers and things that they're very, very. We don't have any mobile platforms like that, do we?
Well, we've got them, but we don't really use them because Russia's fighting a European war. So invading America is a much different beast than trying to invade Europe. So Europe, you need all these vehicles so you can be running across the countrysides.
Well, and Europe's considerably smaller than America.
Well, in America, we're going to have air dominance right off the bat. So, I mean,
and ground dominance. I mean, think of all the civilians.
Americans, we got a buttload of tanks. Don't think we don't. We got a buttload of everything. But some of this stuff Russia's just got more of. And Russia's got a bunch of, here's long range missiles right here. Here's a 2,000 of these. These other real long ones, you got 500 of these. Main battle tank. T-54 main battle tank, they have 30 of.
Wow, that's not that many.
T-62, they have 200 of. They probably lost them in Ukraine. Main battle tank 264, they've got 100 of. Main battle tank T-72, they've got 950 of.
There's your favorited one, yeah.
There's your T-80 has 250 of. Your T-90 has 220. Your BMP-1 has 800. Your infantry fighting vehicle tank 2,100. Another fighting vehicle 350. Mobile anti-guided missile system tanks 870. They ain't got as big an army as they used to have.
They've got sufficient iron to really pretty much roll the Iron Curtain right across Europe if they were to go.
Armored personnel carries 3,500. They got a lot of stuff all together. They probably got 25,000 vehicles that they can start rolling. But you know what? When you throw all the Europeans together in NATO, I think they can combat that. And when you think about the U.S. spread out across our country, we probably got that much stuff, but it's here. We don't have it deployed. We don't really need it deployed. It's not going to really help us. Let's see. What's that, Jimmy? I don't know. It's let's see. Russia, China. All right, so we'll see what that has to say. Oh no, actually, I got polls getting ready to pull up.
We're gonna take a break.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break at the top of the hour in about 6 minutes. So here we go. U.S., United States versus Russia, United States versus China, India, Pakistan, the whole 9 yards. So real quick, let's go close. We don't want to see that. U.S. versus Russia, compare. Come on, start spilling out stuff. Military budget in the United States, $916 billion. What do you think it is in Russia?
About 500 or 600 billion.
86 billion.
Wow.
That's what they use for tips on our programs. Our military budget is crazy. So active personnel in the United States, 1,400,000. Russia, 1 million. Reserve personnel, 1 million. Reserve personnel, Russia, 2 million. Available for military, 73 million. Russia, 34 million. So that's just ass kicking. Tanks. Okay, y'all ready for this? United States, 5,662 tanks. Russia, 12,267 tanks.
Yeah, like I said, enough iron to roll the Iron Curtain right across Europe.
So this is where it changes. Armored fighting vehicles, United States, 40,000. Russia, 24,000. Now, here we go. Another crazy one. Total artillery, United States, 3,100. Russia 18,266.
Dang.
Self-propelled artillery 1,500. Russia 6,000.
Wait, what does self-propelled artillery mean?
That's when you're dropping in, it takes off.
No. I mean, does it also mean like the platform that it moves on autonomously without a driver or pilot?
It's not saying.
Wow.
Rocket artillery 705 to Russia's
Autonomously
4,331.
That doesn't sound good.
So we have 46% of the tanks that Russia has. Okay, here we go. Air Force. All right.
Yeah, I bet we crushed them in Air Force.
Total aircraft, United States 13,175. Russia 4,408.
Yeah,
Fighter aircraft, we only have 377, and they have 340. Multi-role aircraft, which by the way are also fighter, it means fighter attack. We have 2,484. Russia has 380. Attack aircraft 531. Russia 689. Helicopters 5,000 to 1,600. Combat drones 500 to 100. Total aircraft, they have 34% of the aircraft that we have. Navy. Total naval ships, United States 460, Russia 653.
Yeah,
but you know what? Everything's a naval boat in Russia.
Yeah, but
little dinghy.
they come from a strong naval tradition, like the other European countries, so they've always had a large navy.
But you can see though, U.S. aircraft carriers 20, Russia 1.
Yeah.
Destroyers 97, Russia 14. Frigates, we don't have any; they have 11. Corvettes, we have 23. They
don't have any
80.
frigates anymore?
No.
Corvettes, we have 23. They have 80. Submarines, we have 69. They have 66. Let's see. Now we're going to go see how China compares. How we compare against China. This could be interesting.
No,
let's see where it is. Let's see. There's Russia, China. Let's see. Where's Russia? Where's China? There it is. China versus United States. Okay. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Dun, 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 dun. Military expenditures. China, $408 billion.
Oh, wow. That's nothing.
United States, $916 billion. We still double their spending.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Manpower. This is where it gets interesting.
Yeah,
we have a total of 2 million ready to fight. They have a total of 4 million. But we have 73 million ready to fight. They have 400 million. That's why we have nuclear weapons right there. That's the whole reason we have nukes. Tanks, pretty close. They've got 5,700. We got 5,650. Armored vehicles, they have 14,000. We have 40,000. Totally artillery, they have 7,000. We have 4,000. Self-propelled, they have 2,000. We have 1,500. Rocket artillery, they have 31. We have 705. So that's pretty even. There's what that is. So total aircraft. China, 4,630. United States, 14,000. Fighter aircraft. China has 1,000 of them. We have 377 now.
We have 377.
Those
377. We have what, 22 of them or 25 of them that can disappear.
See, it's hard for people to understand the U.S., the Air Force, and the Navy. So, see, it says multi-role aircraft. China has 1,100. We have 3,000. The difference is an F-18 FA is a fighter attack. It's a multi-role aircraft.
Yeah.
So is the F-22s and the F-35. So there's more than you realize. Attack aircraft, they have 120. We have 531. Helicopters, they got 1,000. We got 5,000. U.S. combat drones, they have 150. We have 500. Pretty big. Now, this is where it gets squirrely. The Navy, 740 ships to our 460. 4 aircraft carriers. I don't know where they're at. I've only seen 2. Destroyers, 38 to our 97. Frigates, 54 to 0. Corvettes, 73 to 23. Submarines, 74 to 69. Of course, our submarines are much different than theirs are. Nuclear weapons. They're not going to put that out in the normal way, are they? 18 years, 17 years, 2.5 year. Even with China's larger in most areas in the United States, most people agree that the U.S. would win the war.
And even though they have
Mainly
more
due to
more
fighting.
stuff with us than us, I think we're a lot smarter than they are.
Well, we've been fighting a lot longer than they have been. So
Yeah.
until we got out of Afghanistan, we had been at war for 40 years, and
we also have weapons specifically designed to take out specific kinds of targets like bunkers and buildings. And we have 3 of them deployed on Navy vessels right now, 3 railguns, and those can take down with one shot a building.
Jack says, well, I do see there's a lot of weird stuff on Mars. We'll do a show on Mars in the future, Jack. How's that?
Yeah,
Not on
Jack.
here. We'll do it on the other one, UFO on the cover. But we'll do. Well, there's interesting stuff on Mars. There's a lot of bullshit on Mars, but there's some interesting stuff. They have found liquid water. They think they found life just recently. Now, when they're talking life, they're talking like amoebas or things like that. For now, if they find anything on the surface, that suggests there'll be something much bigger underneath the surface. We do know that Mars burps up methane. We know it burps up oxygen and carbon. So there's something alive somewhere, because those are only usually made by something living, breathing, or dying. So
or a biological process.
Yes.
Yes.
So we know there's life there of some kind. What it is, nobody actually knows. But they think they're going to find pockets of water underground with probably heat sources. And they'll probably maybe be plants or some kind of animals or something.
Yeah.
So they think they're going to find that. But that's predictions we've been making for 30 years. But is there intelligent life? Was there intelligent life there? Is there intelligent life there? There are things that look like ruins. Are they ruins? I don't know. There are things that look like it. So
John Brandenburg, there was at least 2 airburst nuclear explosions in the atmosphere of Mars.
Now,
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't know. So if you look at ruins on Earth taken by satellites, you'll see almost identical things on Mars. Are they actually ruins? It's hard to say, but that one with the 4 pyramids and the road and the things going off to the side would look like buildings in a street. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. The face is bullshit, but that particular one, I don't know. That's in the Sedona region. It looks like something was there. It looks very old, and it may not be. It may just be the way things are settled and the way that particular probe is taken. We won't know until we go.
Well, and another thing also, if they were buildings, that one of the places where Brandenburg proposes that the explosion is directly over Cydonia.
What's that, Christopher? Well, no, we know something hit Mars on one side and created Olympus Mons, which is the largest volcano, and that's what killed the planet. It ripped out the atmosphere. It spewed all the heat out of it. Yeah, it did irreparable damage to the planet.
Yeah, and there's a huge electrical gouge that's like 1,000 times the size of the.
Yeah, it looks like something out of one of them Doctor Who sci-fi movies or something. Yeah. It's well, guys, we don't know. And there is a planet, or was a planet, between Mars and Jupiter. So there looked like there was some pretty serious disasters there. Was there life? Was there not life? That's anybody's guess at this point.
Our planet is tilted. All the other planets stand up like this and spin around the sun. Ours is like that. Why? Something hit it.
Or somebody knew we needed seasons to survive.
Something hit it. There's no other explanation. Something hit
the Earth. All we have to do is get a flat Earth person on the show, and he'll explain it to us.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah,
flat earthers.
We should do that. That'd be a good idea.
Well, Michelle's got a good one. We'll have to ask him. But see, my problem is I've been in an aircraft at 80,000 feet, so I know the planet's round because I've seen it. It's hard for a flat earther who hasn't seen it.
You can see it from the Eiffel Tower. You can see it from the Empire State Building.
Standing in an ocean, but that's not going to convince a flat earther. But you put their ass up in orbit and let them take a look, they're going to look at the world in a different place.
Oh, I mean, you don't know how we want to put them up in orbit, though, Joe.
Well, I'm saying that maybe we should put him in one of them leaky Boeing aircraft that Elon Musk had to go save their ass.
It was kind of the inference I was giving there.
I know. What's that, Jack? We're getting ready to put on a song. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll be doing polls.
I did put a song in private chat if you want to put that up.
Oh, did you? Hold on. Let me, I'm not even over there. Let me see where I'm at. Where is it? Private chat. Mamas, don't let your babies. That's
No,
a pretty
it's not
good.
that one. It's not that one.
Stop, thing. Let me stop. Get off the thing. Damn, misbehaving. But anyway, guys and girls, we're going to take a break in just a minute. And y'all can listen to this song. We'll be back and we'll be doing some polls and we'll be checking out some naked women. And
I'll be checking out my refrigerator because I'm hungry.
you hear this one? You're going to be checking out the refrigerator. But anyway, guys, let me cue this song up and we'll be back in a few minutes. I hope y'all enjoy the music.
Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
The Church of Mavis Radio Show, Friday nights at 8 p.m., 7 Central, starring Jeffrey Pritchett with his co-hosts Wham and Jay McNicholas, right here on the United Paranormal Radio Network, UPRN 107.7 FM, New Orleans.
Oh, sorry about that. Welcome back to News on Flipside. I didn't realize I had it muted there. Hope everybody enjoyed the music and enjoyed the promos. And I hope you're having a good night tonight and enjoying this show and listening to us three sexy beasts up here talking.
Okay.
Oh, we had to send Leah home. She was a scary one. So, we had like, no, baby, you're messing up the beastie look. No, I'm just kidding. Leah's great. No, her phone was giving her shit. That's all. No, Leah's a lot of fun to talk to. Yeah. No, well, I'm sure she would appreciate that. She's not 28 though, but I'm sure she'd appreciate it. She's a little bit older than that. Yeah, 29.
Yeah, 29.
Well, I'll tell you what, when she's on next week or next Wednesday or Friday, whenever we see her, you can ask her. No, what do you mean? I forgot. There was a show we wanted to do. What the hell was that show we wanted to do, y'all? Was there something we were just talking about?
Jesus.
Oh, yes. We want to do that, and then we want to do another one. No, I'm gonna get it scheduled.
What? Jesus.
Well, yeah, whole show just on
so
Jesus.
We just not on the religion, just on Jesus.
The historical figure.
We want to talk about who he was, who knew about him, where are there places that prove that he exists as a man, as a person, not as a deity or a god. That if he comes in, that's fine, but we want people to know the man, and maybe they can understand things better then. Well, Christopher, and this is one of the reasons why. So Jesus was born. If he's the son of the God, that's 2 thumbs up. But our problem is he didn't write the Bible.
No, he didn't.
He didn't even want to write the Bible. No, and the only thing we can find in Aramaic at the time of Christ was the St. Thomas epistles. It's the only thing written in Aramaic at the time of his life.
Yep.
So, and those are completely different than the Bible.
Yep.
They're complete. They're split a log. They're split a rock. He wasn't in the organized religion. Didn't need your money. Just wanted peace, love, and kindness, and help, and people to help each other. That's what he was about. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about those things. Whether you agree, disagree, it doesn't really matter. You can get your opinion in and say it, and we'll open up the lines. You can even come get on cam with us if you want. It's a serious show. We're going to invite anybody on the network who wants to come, and anybody else who wants to come, because I don't think, when I listen to people speak, people tell me stuff about Jesus, and I don't really think they understand. First off, that there is proof of his existence. What's that, Johnny? We're not proving as a God. That's for your own self to believe. Okay, all we're doing is showing that this person, Jesus, lived at this time, and there is documentation from, I think, 5 different countries and about 14 different places. And of course, the Jews and the Muslims talk about him in pretty good detail. Neither one of them consider him to be the son of God, but they did consider him to be a minor
Buddhists also speak of him, and there are some alleged artwork which we looked at in one of my one of my 2 Oriental art classes in college. But there's a few paintings of what appears to be a Jesus figure and a bodhisattva figure, like the prince before he became Buddha.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because his legend had spread pretty far from what we can see from some of the writings. There was definitely deep into the Roman Empire, into other empires around in the Middle East that knew about him. One of the leaders actually had wrote to him and asked him if he could come help him. He was having
it's essentially the Roman Empire that creates the Christianity, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, that's where it comes.
It is eventually. Yeah, eventually that's where it comes out of. But it's but there were other nations that knew about him, and he wasn't, from what I can understand from the writings we've seen, he wasn't treated as like, of course, he wasn't a Christian guy because there was no Christians back there, but they wasn't really treated as a Jew either. He was just, I noticed the one emperor who wrote to him, or the one king that wrote to him about helping with his health, both he wrote to him as a man, not as a religious God. So there are these writings out there, people. So there is proof of existence, and y'all can come argue whatever you want to argue and tell us what you think is real and what's not real. All we're trying to do is help you to understand that somebody did exist, whether he was God, whether he was an astronaut, whether he was a prophet. That's for you to decide, not for me or Jay or Sean to tell you. That is for you to decide. Yes, it's not our job. We're not here to conform.
You have to read those inspirational texts yourself and make your own decision up. I won't make that for you. That's not my call.
Denise, we've been asked a few times to do a show on the Bible. And my answer is always the same thing. On which one?
Oh,
Yeah.
please bring
There
it
are
on.
many versions. It's
I
the
think
first
you'll
one
lose if we
is
have
out of
one,
print.
dude.
What was
If we
that?
have a show on the Bible, okay, you're going to lose Denise as a watcher of your show, because I tell you what, I will debate anybody on that book. It's just sorry, guys, but
Well,
that's
no,
how
there's nothing to be sorry about. It's just
that'd be a good debate. Tell you what, sorry for interrupting you,
I
Jay.
debated
no,
guys
yeah,
who
no, sorry about interrupting.
regular
That's
church
what
going
the show's
Christians
about.
on the Bible, and they were like, "I didn't know that was in the Bible." I'm like, "Yeah, it's in there. You better go look." And they're like, "You're lying." I'm like,
And then, of course, then there's
"Go
all
read
the
your Bible
epistles.
and come back tomorrow and call me a liar."
Then there's all the epistles that were left out of Bible, where there's 26 or something.
Mary Magdalene,
Yeah,
she wasn't a prostitute. She was the wife of Jesus Christ.
yeah,
That
she
is
had to be
correct,
because you couldn't. He was a full
He is
blown.
correct.
Yeah, because he was a full blown priest, and you couldn't achieve whatever it was
Not a priest.
without being
He
married.
was a
Whatever
rabbi.
you call it, rabbi. Yeah, I'm sorry, rabbi.
And in those ancient traditions back then, in order to
You
be
had to
that
be
rank,
married.
you had to be married.
You had to be married. Sorry, we
And do
don't
you
make
know
these
who was
rules.
in charge of the apostles? It wasn't
Mary
John.
Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene. Yes. Come
His
on,
whole,
Joe.
his
Bring
whole
it
philo-
on, man.
His whole
Bring it on.
philosophy was trying to harken back to the prior age where the matriarchs were in charge of society, but that's not what got him killed. So he messed with the money lenders, and when you mess with the money, you die. It happened to Kennedy, it happened to Lincoln, it happened to 2 other presidents. 4 presidents shot and him killed by messing with money. You mess with the money, people get you.
What's that, Denise? That's just no. It's stuff we'll talk about. Well, I mean, it's hard to talk about the Bible in the context that it was written by God, because it wasn't. It was written
No.
186 years after Jesus' death, and it was just a collection of stories. And then, of course, there's the Old Testament, which is also a collection of stories, which I'm more prone to believe the Old Testament than the New Testament. So,
Well, a lot of the stuff out of the that's in the Old Testament came from the King James Bible.
so it's just
The King James version is one of the most recent ones, but that's one that most people are probably familiar with. However, the original Bible, and we said it before in shows in the past, the original Bible had, I think the number was 164 chapters or 164 books, and the current King James version has 63. I believe.
I know when I got to see that one, it was 1860, I think it was written, or 860, not 1860. And the guy actually had a little stick, but he had these gloves on, these static gloves, and this little stick that he would turn the page so you could read it. Of course, it was in freaking Latin.
Yeah.
So the thing of it is, it's not like the Bible we read. It's not even close to the same book.
Nope.
So who's lying? Who's telling the truth? I mean, it keeps getting rewritten. We don't freaking know who's lying. Who's
Not
telling
just
the truth.
rewritten, but edited too. I mean, they
Oh
take
yeah,
things out,
edited.
add
Well, King
things.
James edited because he wanted to get a divorce. So I mean,
Yes, correct.
that's just a whole nother line of bullshit. What was that, Christopher? No, you see, we're not gonna get into it because we got to get into the polls, but we're gonna do a special show on this, and y'all can get in there. Maybe we'll do Jesus in the Bible on the same day. We'll even invite Michelle because she's pretty good on this shit too. The 3 of us and Michelle, maybe 1 or 2 other people. Just bring what you know. You're not trying to prove that you're right or wrong. You're just trying to bring what you know and enhance what everybody else is talking about.
Cool.
Go ahead.
Might as well have a show on Satan too, and the devil and Lucifer.
We've done those before.
Yeah.
3 separate entities.
We've actually done. You might not remember. It was way back when we used to do the I forgot the damn name of the show. We used to do it as a panel show, and we did it. We did one show on the 3 of them being one entity, and then we did one show on them being 3 entities.
Right.
Man, that caused more shit. Because
I lost a lot of people when I did that show.
Well, I bet, because like the Catholics, they believe specifically it's one being, and then a lot of other people don't. They believe it's 3 beings, and I kind of lean to the 3 because of the stories. When you hear certain stories like, "Oh, it was Lucifer or Satan," they sound like they sound evil, but they sound different than the
They are. No, real quick, and then let's get to the polls. Here's my theory. Lucifer, yeah, he was kicked out, but he was kicked out to keep an eye on Satan so he don't destroy the earth.
Yes, because Lucifer does not mean devil; it means bringer of light or teacher.
The morning star, yeah.
Hey Joe, there's a link to the top 10 oldest Bibles in existence.
Well, let me put it in the list so we got it for when we need it. It's let's grab it out of here right quick. We're gonna put it in our box up here, so when we get ready to use it, we can use it. No, actually, Gene, you'd be surprised at how old some of these Bibles are. Yes, you really would be. It's there's some old ones out there, but that's the thing. The old ones are different than the new ones are.
Yep.
Sometimes the names are different, but
if you read any Bible that's more than 1,000 years old, you're going to be like, "What the f- am I reading?"
Exactly.
And you're not going to be. You're going to be like, "Whoa, wait a minute! This isn't what I've
when did
been
this
taught."
happen? Yeah, I don't
The
remember
only
this.
church that comes close is the Catholics because they throw in those epistles in there, like they're the word of God. They just throw them in there, and some of them are probably books, prior books, and some of them are probably just bullshit they wrote themselves.
I was just gonna say I'm fairly certain that the Vatican probably has probably the oldest books in its secret archives.
No,
of
I
the
don't
Bible,
doubt that at
oldest
all.
versions.
I don't. Maybe when we still were when some of the great libraries were around, but now since they're not, I don't doubt that they definitely have the oldest. So Jackie, we're gonna get into some of these polls. Just calm your little britches
Relax.
down.
I have real quick before you get to the polls again.
Go ahead.
You know how many times Lucifer was mentioned in the Bible?
3 times.
Once.
That was my first guess. Damn it.
Once. One time. And it was from a so-called prophet back in the Old Testament.
Was it John the Bishop who mentions him?
No,
Not
he
John the
was a
Bishop.
king.
John
He
the
was a
Baptist.
king.
John the Baptist.
He was none of them. It was a king. And he said, he was mentioned one time. Satan was mentioned 12, 13 times. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a touchy subject with me because I believe Lucifer's getting a bad deal from the Catholics, to be honest with you.
Well, it might be because if Catholics throw anybody on the bus to get what they want, let's just be honest about it. They don't give a what. What's that, Jamie? No, hold on. We got to get these straight. Is this the one I want over here? What did I do with him? Is this what I was doing with him? Okay, anyway, let's go over here. Oh, wait, let's put Jay's.
I had to stop a cat attack. He was about to jump and run across my desk. I can't have that.
Demon spawn. So let's see. Trump is definitely ahead on the border and on economics, but let's go see what 270 has to say. I noticed 270 was trying to switch around a little bit last week.
They're trying to go blue.
So now they've got Harris 226, Trump 182.
What?
Yeah, they don't have Georgia or Florida on there, or
it went back like orange or gray or whatever, tan.
Yeah, they're just the gray color. They're not giving them to anybody. 130 delegates undecided is what they've got right now. So let's see. Yeah, that's what they've got. And this changed a lot. So I don't know what's going on here. I don't even know why that did like that. That just seems to be something very strange. What's that, Christopher? No, sometimes you just got to wonder why things change the way they do. Well, right now on 270, I can't. I'm looking for there. Whoops, what did I do with it? Well, we'll do it like this. Well, they had the way their polls are set up. There's usually a round disc that you can walk through the polls, but I don't see it today. Oh, there it is. All right. So nationally, Trump is catching up. He's 2 points behind her now. He's 3 points ahead of her in Arizona. He's losing Nebraska. He's gaining in New York.
Wow.
On this one here. See, now this poll over here says he's losing in New York. He's lost 3 points. This one says he's gained in 7.
And then, there's another funny story that I think it was CBS News but just recently, 3 or 4 days ago, they had a guy. I guess he's an expert, a statistician or whatever, and he said that most of the polls now showing a closer race. He said that even with the margins of error, that the error is so wrong that they can't even predict what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
How bad the polls are. This guy is saying that they can't predict what's going to happen.
North Carolina, Trump's up by 1. Pennsylvania is a tie. Georgia, Trump's up by 2. So,
well, I don't know what. Now he lost some. Last couple of weeks in Georgia, he was like 5 or 6 up ahead.
Yeah, but that's when Biden was in. Since this is now, and he's probably higher than this up, but they're not going to tell you that because of Atlanta. But North Carolina, he's up in. Pennsylvania, it's a tie, which he's probably up in Pennsylvania because Fetterman came out and said, I don't care what these polls say, I'm stomping for Harris, and everybody's telling me they're voting for Trump. That's his words exactly.
He's what is he stomping for Harris? Like he's campaigning for her?
Yeah, because he's a Democrat. He's a senator. Fetterman, the guy up there that wears the hoodie.
I know who he is. Yeah, he's kind of a thug looking.
Yeah,
dude.
he's stomping for Harris, but he's bluntly saying that Trump's their guy, and the state's voting for Trump. Michigan, Trump's losing by 3. Minnesota's losing by 5. Nevada, they say he's losing by 2. When I seen the national poll on Nevada, he was winning by 3.
Hey Joe, where's Las Vegas?
Nevada.
Who is Las Vegas predicting to be president?
They were saying Trump's going to win.
Yeah. I think Nevada's going to fall to Trump too.
Yeah. Now they're saying she's 8 points ahead in Virginia. I have a hard time believing that.
That's horse.
Wisconsin, they're tied. Colorado, she's winning. Ohio, he's winning. Florida, he's murderizing her. Connecticut and Delaware, she's winning. New Mexico, she's winning. Mass in Montana. Montana's Trump's, Mass is hers. Rhode Island's close. California's actually he's going up some in California.
But he's still losing.
Yeah, he's still losing. Yeah. Maine. Maine 1, she's winning. Maine 2, he's winning. New Hampshire, he's made up ground in New Hampshire. Indiana, he's kicking her ass. Missouri's kicking her ass. Iowa's kicking her ass. Alaska's kicking her ass. Nebraska's kicking her ass. Oklahoma's kicking her ass. Washington, she's kicking his ass. Arkansas, he's kicking her ass. West Virginia, he's murdering her. Utah, he's murdering her. Vermont, he's getting murdered. Oregon, he has made a lot of ground up. He is only 2 points behind in Oregon. He's inside the error margin. So depending on where, so the Senate, so this poll here says he is 41-54. They're saying he's down by 13 in New York on this poll, but the Senate New York poll, New York Times, has Trump up by 2 points.
Yeah.
They also have him nationally up by 3 points.
Really?
So during the last election, into the 2016 election, the LA Times was the only ones that got Trump's numbers right. Everybody always said Hillary was winning. LA Times always said Trump was winning and Trump won. And the New York Times is doing the same thing because there are times there's no reason for them to lie. So he's still got the swing states he needs to be president as of now. So that hasn't changed anything. Well, no, guys, he's got the swing states. That's what he takes. He's got 4 swing states out of 7 right now. He's got it, and I think he's going to take Pennsylvania. I think y'all bullshitting if you don't think he's going to take Pennsylvania. Let's see.
I believe he will too.
So let's see here. Let's see. These are swing states. Georgia, he's up by 2. Nevada, he's up by 1. Arizona, he's up by 1. Pennsylvania's a tie. Wisconsin's a tie. And this is at 538, which hates his ass. So let's see. Redfield, Wallington, Trump is losing by 3. Outward, Trump is losing by 6. Outward again. Survey USA, Trump's losing by 6. Now, these are all liberal polls, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Before anybody goes getting crazy, every one of these polls are liberal polls. This is the company we were talking about that changed who it used for its polling when they changed candidates. They didn't have a choice because she wasn't going to win any other way. Yeah, I mean, all of those are blue. So, what's that? No, last time I seen the CNN poll, they had Trump winning.
How about
See,
the MSNBC? They've been
uh,
sticking up for Trump lately.
well, CNN definitely has been.
Hate him.
Well, I'm saying no, they've been sticking up ever since she had that thing, that one-on-one with Oprah, man, or that lady from MSNBC. I
So,
mean, they ripped her apart the next day.
well, I'll go check in a minute. So, on CNN, she's winning by 1, but with Jill Stein in the race, she's losing by 3.
When did Jill
Yeah,
Stein get into the race?
Jill Stein's been in the race.
she's been in the race, dude.
Yeah. She's actually, they were talking about this the other day that she might actually hurt. They think she hurt Hillary. They think she's going to hurt her.
Well, good.
So anywhere she's in, then they're close. Trump's winning. So let's see. Latest polls finds Trump roughly even in independent likely voters. Harris 45, Trump 45 with a gender gap. We already knew that. Independent women break 51 Harris, 36 Trump. I don't believe that. I'd like to see that personally. Split 47-40 Harris. Independent men split 47 for Trump, 40 for Harris. Just evens out. Gender division polls, white voters, white men, 58% Trump, 35% Harris. White women, 55% Trump, 47% Harris. Little gender among Black and Latino voters. Harris ahead among likely voters younger than 30, which are less likely to vote. But still there, it's 40, 30, 40, 40, 35. Let's see. Among Black, 79, Trump 16. That's good for Trump. Latino, 40 for Trump. So he's up all the way across on all of these. And I know these are higher than what they're saying right now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So when you go by these numbers, Trump's definitely winning, but it really comes down to who turns out. That's what it really comes down to.
Well, okay, so let's put it like this then. Since you just said that, Joe, then those polls reflect if everybody were to vote who were participated in these polls, if they were to vote right now, that's what would happen. Is he would win.
Yeah, he would win. So 51% say they have policy positions on major issues that align with what they want the president more saying Trump, or exactly what they want. 29% say Trump, 18% say Harris. So if you're aligning with your, like with the border or with finances or things like that, you're aligning with Trump.
Yes, I would agree.
And then it says that true Trump is more broadly seen to extreme views or positions than Harris, but people like that for some reason. And let's see. Currently, right now, 51% of people are more likely to vote for Trump, with 44% likely to vote for Harris. So,
wow.
So what do we got here? Temperament. Let's see. Exactly what you want, close enough to what I want, not what I want. So 44% say they're not on temperament, they're not what she wants, with 25% saying close enough.
Wait, how many said she was close enough?
25%. 33% said they exactly what she wants. Exactly what they want. Let's see.
It's not a very high percentage either.
So background experience, 50% say not what they want. Ability to understand problems for people like you, 50% say not what they want. Skills as a leader, 50% say not what they want. Vision for the country, 50%. Oh shit, girl, you got hammered. Damn.
How about
Um,
Ross Newton? Newton.
Let's get out of here. Let's see. Who? Oh, wait. Here's the New York Times. We got to do this one. Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, I heard a glitch that the New York Times was did something pro-Trump today or yesterday.
See, they're saying 226 to 219, and then they're showing Harris 276 to 262 if this happens. But the more favorable look is Harris 241, Trump 297.
Wow.
So they're not. So New York, North Carolina, Trump is up by 1. Nevada, Trump is up by 1. Georgia, Trump is up by 1. Pennsylvania, they're saying he's down by 2, but this one's saying it's a tie. Wisconsin down by 1. Arizona, Trump's up by 2. Michigan, he's down. So he's got 5 of the swing states he needs. If he keeps polling like that, they're not going to be able to beat him. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to fucking cheat is what they're going to do. Okay, where did MSNBC go? I just had him here a minute ago. Okay. 1, 2, North Carolina, Georgia, Nevada, Arizona all belong to Trump.
Is that MSNBC?
No, that's BBC is what that was.
Yeah. What do the Brits know? They have a king.
No, they want Trump to win.
Oh, I know they do, but
Jay, you okay, buddy?
About how our elections work.
Are you okay, Jay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, your eyes are closing there, brother.
Oh, I've been up since 5 a.m., but I'm still with you.
All right, let's see. We only got a couple more of these to get out the way. Well, before we go to MSNBC, I guess we're going to Weird Clear Politics because that one came up next. So, that looked good for Trump, but we got to see a lot of blue. National on this one, Harris is up by 1 point. Well, so that's a bullshit. Quinnipiac, they're tied. CNN, they're tied. Rasmussen, Trump's up by 2. Reuters, he's down by 6. We knew that. Morning Consultant, he's up by 4. CBS, NBC's down by 5. New York Times poll is a tie. Atlas is 3. Yahoo News is 4 down. And then he's down 2 points at Fox.
Oh, wow. They've been kind of leaning more towards what's his face anyway, or her face.
Let's see. One. Then it's like 1.1% she's ahead of him nationally here. Okay, so just when you look at this, though, this is if it's a conservative, it's red. If it's a liberal, it's blue. There's no in between, except for CNN. CNN is red, which is strange, but CBS and NBC, of course, are not. But the New York Times, seeing it as a tie. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We still got a couple of weeks. They were talking about it the other day because more and more people are hearing some of the stupid shit that she's been saying. They were saying the other day, yeah, if this was a year long, she'd already by this time she'd already be out of the race. A lot of people are angry about it. They feel like this is a cheat. Yeah. I don't know how this is going to go down. It makes me nervous. This is Pennsylvania. Oh, this is the Pennsylvania, taken in Pennsylvania by Pennsylvania, and they are tied. And this is the New York Times, and they are tied. I don't know,
Why does that make you nervous? Why does that make you nervous?
Well, tying, I'm okay with. It's just when you start seeing these 6 and 7 points. Oh, God, this one has Trump up by 10 points. What state is this?
What?
Ohio.
Iowa?
Ohio.
Okay.
which used to be a swing state, but for some reason isn't anymore. All right.
Well, it's based on delegates. So did they lose delegates?
No, I just think more red people moved there, I guess. Well, just basic fundamental politics just changed because, New Mexico wasn't always a blue state. Neither was Washington or Oregon. They are now, though.
Yeah.
Okay, NBC, what do you got here? Is this what we want? I want MSNBC, don't I? Election 24 Harris visits southern border. Trump meets with Lizinski. Okay, nobody gives a shit. How's that?
We already talked about both of those.
I mean, those are old stories from earlier today. Yeah, I mean, I noticed the news cycle's been kind of slow lately.
I don't know. I think Israel dropping bombs in the suburbs of Beirut, that is fairly significant. That just happened last night. So, I mean, think about it.
Yeah, there's a poll conducted. What is this? But I mean, it's just when you see them repeating stories like this, it tends to mean there's just not much in the cycle.
It's about the same from last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be like there's not a lot.
We'll find out Monday, won't we?
Let's see, MSNBC. Okay, here we go. MSNBC. Ooh, Rachel Mad Cow Maddow's home.
Yeah. Is she still on there? I can't believe it.
Yeah, they moved her around. She got her ass in trouble. They were doing something for a while.
She seems to get in trouble quite frequently.
So MSNBC, first thing you read is, polls show Harris gaining ground, but there is still a lot of work to be done. So MSNBC is basically telling you she's losing.
Yep. I'm telling you, man, they're ever since she did that interview, honestly, they just been ripping on her.
So let's see. According to an NBC News poll, Harris has a 5-point lead over President Donald Trump among registered voters on this. And then, they're breaking it down by, I think, Trump among registered voters 49 to her 44. So that's kind of weird. That just gives them both first place. That's just crazy. Okay, what is this on? All right. So on the economy, Trump's winning. He's favorable. New York City Times says Trump is favorable in Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, Nevada, and looks like a tie in Pennsylvania. If he's got that, man, he's already won the election.
Yeah, those are all very large states.
Well, MSC is not ripping him apart. I'm surprised. I mean, they're trying to show you.
See, I'm not surprised at that. I just saw what I saw and heard what I heard all week long after that interview, and I'm telling you, she was a lost looking puppy, Joe. She really was.
Because she's an idiot. Steve Bernanke. Well, it's getting in the details poll. I think. Yeah. So stop thing. So on securing the border, he's got a 21 point. With dealing economy, he's got 9. There's only 5 things on this list. Serving as commander in chief, Harris has 1.
What?
Being competent and effective, she has 5. Having necessary mental facilities and health to be president, she has 20. So it doesn't really matter because those 3 are not going to get you to be president, but these top 2 will. So see, MSNBC just basically told you Trump's going to win the election is what they did, because that's the number one causes for everybody is those 2. That's what everybody's voting on. What's that, Jimmy? Reproductive rights. Okay, first off, reproductive rights are not going to be voted on in every state in the union, meaning that women are not all necessarily California, California, New York, Illinois, they already vote blue. And those are going to make a difference in those states. But in the southern states that vote red, they don't give a shit about that. They're not going to vote that. And in the swing states, you mean like Georgia? No, Georgia's not going to vote that. Nevada and Arizona aren't either. So I'm not sure Pennsylvania is.
And it's a Commonwealth, so there might be.
So I don't know. What I mean is it's not, they already have laws there for it. So if a woman already knows their state has protective for rights, there's no reason to go out and vote for it. Well, you want the federal government to speak for everybody, but that's not fair because not everybody has the same views. No, not everybody does have the same views, and you shouldn't force anything on anybody. It's not my rules, my friend. You mean if Trump loses, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. Well, mainly because Harris wasn't the elected official. There are going to be all kind of things about cheating because of the way it was handled. Trump didn't get a year against her. He got 3 months against her. She didn't really have any time for everybody to show how bad she is. After a year of listening to her jackass laughing, she'd be 21 points behind Trump. Right?
There'll be lots of things for the I think it will be the Supreme Court to overturn and make it a Trump victory.
More than likely, they'll just probably null and void the election. Yeah, they'll probably null and void it and have to do something where there's a whole year because she might not even have won the candidacy. I mean, Joe Manchin wanted to run, a couple other people wanted to run, so she might not even been the candidate.
Does that mean Biden will be president for another year?
I don't know. No, more than likely it'll go to the Speaker of the House.
Yeah, Speaker of the House or Secretary of State, one of the two.
But he's Speaker of the House is third in line, so.
Is it? Okay, that would be him.
Yeah, so he would get it. Well, whatever it is. I mean, if he's a Republican, it'll be a Republican running the country. If he's a Democrat, it'll be a Democrat running the country. Well, no, just because you reset the presidential election doesn't mean you're going to reset all the elections. Well, maybe they will. Maybe they'll have to. I know it's going to be a mess because it's going to throw the election out of whack. What are you going to do? Just give a president 3 years? I mean, and you really can't have the presidency out of sync with the House and Senate races because they rely on that. I guess it would change politics.
It might.
No, but we got to get out of here in a few minutes. Any questions before we go? Who lives on Mars?
No, don't go there. No. That's for earlier show. Don't even go there.
Man.
No, don't even go there.
Well, I keep a condo there, just so y'all know. Yes.
All right. Yeah. So whoever asked that dumbass question, Joe has a condo there.
Yes, I have a condo there, which doesn't have any stairs in it, by the way. Well, you don't need stairs on Mars. You just jump from room to room. Yes.
I think people just try to ask these dumbass questions to keep us on longer.
No, so the New York Cena poll definitely has Trump at her tied. The only polls that have her winning are liberal polls. They're not conservative polls. Well, there is one conservative poll. Well, there is one conservative poll that does have her ahead, and that's on Fox. But everybody else has her losing. Again, it really just depends on what polls you look at. And when Anderson Cooper came out on CNN the other day and said you can't trust the polls, that spoke a lot.
Yeah,
he was talking about Harris being ahead of Trump. He doesn't believe it. Neither does the super PAC that does her advertisement. They don't believe she's ahead either. They said internal polling says she's down by like 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at it. They said Hillary was ahead by 6 the entire time, and she lost by 6. I told you right there, which is, by the way, what the LA Times said Trump was up by 6. So they were right.
What's the LA Times say now?
I haven't seen them anywhere.
No.
I haven't seen them anywhere, and I think they're under new management now, so they're probably just blue these days. But oh no, Jesse. So they've been people all over New York. They're trying to say that, and see, the New York Cena poll has it very close. 270 and 538 had a big gap, but the polls that are in New York are saying it's much closer.
Yeah,
they're saying it's.
I would have to agree with it.
Yeah.
How long have we been tracking these? 8, 10 months, 12 months?
Yeah,
whatever.
well, pretty much since the election started. So yeah,
right.
So
and
we got 3 months.
They've always said the same thing. They roughly Trump is 4 to 6, 8, 10 points ahead, depending on which polls you want to believe. And then we have 1 or 2 experts out there saying that you can't believe the polls because the margin of error makes them so that they're null and void, that they don't really predict anything one way or the other for sure anyway.
And that's the other problem, guys and girls. All the polls, all the major polls that would predict who's going to win are all inside the margin of error.
Yeah,
the 4 points.
That's what all the expert was saying. It's inside the margin of errors.
So you can't really predict who's going to win by the polls. They're kind of useless. And it also depends where you're taking them. I guarantee you, when Democrats go take polls, they're not taking them in red places or where there are any red people at all. I'd bet you money on it.
Mm-hmm.
You mean the Foxes had Harris up for a while? Mm-hmm. I can't believe any Republicans are going to vote for him. And I can't believe Fox has got that many Democrats watching.
Well, you know why? I think I know why Fox, they got Democrats, because what's his name, Tucker Carlson, got booted.
Oh, maybe so. It's well, no, if they've got that many Democrats over there and he's only polling down 2, that means he's in good shape. Well, they were showing things like they're saying 58% of women are going to vote for Trump and 58% of men are going to vote for, 58% of men are going to vote for Trump. 58% of women are going to vote for Harris. I'm not believing the 58% of women are going to vote for Harris. 58% of Democrat women, I believe, will vote for Harris. 58% of Republican women or independent women, I'm not believing that. I can't believe they would be that ignorant. I just can't believe that. Kamala's pretty ignorant.
Yeah.
And and something I have not heard any news media ask her or even put her on the spot about. Can you handle Xi Jinping? Can you handle Vladimir Putin? Can you handle Kim Jong-un? Can you handle the Ayatollah? That's your job, because obviously and she hasn't had to deal with any of this while she was VP. A woman has no experience. She scares the shit out of me. I said, Denise, no, we're getting ready to go. I'm tired. These guys got to get some sleep.
Yeah.
We can't stay this beautiful just by staying awake all the time. Come on. It takes sleep and rest.
Jay's really tired, I could tell.
And ham and cheese sandwiches too.
Oh yeah, I'm hungry.
Yes, and a ham and no, I'm going to go make me. I got some these little. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. 2 questions and then we're out of here, and not stupid questions, topic questions. Okay, what's that? Do we think that we should go after the hostages in Israel? You mean our hostages in Israel?
Yeah.
I think we should have already gone after them.
Absolutely.
I think, and I don't know why the media is not bringing this up. I don't know why Trump's not bringing this up. Yes, because this could be something you could slap the shit out of her with.
If they have another debate, I'll bet you he does bring it up.
Yes. You mean Russia using nukes on the Ukraine? I think if Harris wins and they keep doing what they're doing, I think he will use a low yield tactical nuke.
Or their equivalent of a neutron bomb. Yeah, I agree with that.
Now, from what the whatchamacallit said, they don't have neutron bombs. Not at least in the case
they have something equivalent to it.
Yeah, something about creating a neutron bomb is really, really dangerous. It's neutron bombs don't have radiation. They have radiation. They don't have a force. They don't blow anything up. They just spread radiation around for a few miles and kill everything, but leave everything intact. So if your car's not running when it detonates, after 2 years, you can just go and start your car. It only has a half-life of 2 years, yes. And it kills everything within like 10 miles. But it leaves all the buildings and roads and everything intact. Infrastructure, everything.
Yeah.
That's why the U.S. invented them. We figured if we ever started having to using them, why have to go in and rebuild stuff? Besides that, it leaves the corpses in one pieces and stuff. It makes it easier for cleanup. I know it's morbid, but I mean, I didn't invent this fucking thing. Jay did. He invented this nasty bomb. No, actually, I don't know who invented it. And for a long time, we said we never had it. It was not a feasible bomb to make. And then I remember for a decade, they said we didn't have a planet buster. And George Bush busted him. Baby Bush busted him. He said,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to build a planet buster, like 500 kilotons. And I forgot who it was that told him, no, we got one of them. We don't have to build one. And he was like,
we
what?
don't need two. One
Yes,
will suffice.
Yes. Oh, it's some outrageous number. When I heard the original number, I was like, what? It sounded like something split the planet in half. Maybe. But we got to go. We got to go. I got to get some sleep. Jay's got to go chat. No, I mean, Sean's got to go chase some naked women around.
No, I'm going to my refrigerator and getting something to
And he's probably got an
freaking
Asian woman stuck in his refrigerator.
eat. Good night, everybody. I got to go.
Yeah, I'll be good. We'll see y'all. Jay will see you. Well, Jay and I'll see you on Wednesday. You'll see Sean on. We'll see Sean on Sunday and then on Tuesday.
Yep.
So you'll see him before you see us.
Yep.
But on that note, good night.
Good night, everybody.
Stay tuned for Spaced Out Radio with the Crazy Man. And until tomorrow, have some fun. No, I'm on with John Goodwin tomorrow. He's at Salt Lake City, Utah. So at the FanX. So we'll be going to the FanX tomorrow. So anyway, on that note, good night.
Good night.
For everybody in the storm, I hope y'all, I'm glad to see most of y'all survived. And good luck on getting your stuff back together. See you.